He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Winford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Report. We are here in Carey, Ohio for week number 2 of high school football. I'm Josh Stallings alongside Jeff Roberts. And Jeff, this is an MOAC versus the N10 game, and it's not a rivalry game, but these are two of the area's top teams this year. And when this game was scheduled, you know, when you saw this game on the schedule, you're thinking, wow, this is going to be, in week 2, this is going to be a treat.
Especially after we saw what would happen in week 1, where Carey loses a very close game to a very good Hopewell Loudon team. That's a competitive game almost every year. You know, they lost to Hopewell Loudon a couple of years ago when they won the state title. So no real shame in losing such a close battle there, especially in the end of the fourth quarter. And then Galion comes out and trounces Winford a week ago. Because I think Galion had some question marks. They did graduated some really talented skill players, some guys on the line, and it was like, how are they going to replace those players? Well, a week ago it didn't look like they had any problems doing that at all, and now it's like, all right, well, you knocked off Winford, which most people thought would be pretty good but not top of the N10. Well, now you're going sort of to the top of the N10. It's Carey Crawford at the top, and we'll see how Galion and MOAC team competes against the best that the N10 has to offer.
Yeah, 3 straight league championships for the Carey Blue Devils. They did lose in week 1 to Hopewell, 27-22, and let's go ahead and get right into that. Hopewell beat Carey by throwing the football.
Yeah.
Carey did not let up more than 50 yards on the ground. Hopewell Loudon wanted to chuck it deep, and that's typically how Hopewell likes to play. They are a spread team, and you know, the Carey Blue Devils are a very physical, win the game in the trenches type of team.
Well, the one thing we know about Carey is because of the way they play on offense, where it's just power run, be big up front, they're going to defend that well on the others because they see it all day in practice. They're used to it. They got a running back on their team that's 240 pounds. Their linebackers, defensive linemen are going to be used to that. It's a lot different when you're going against a team that can really throw the football. And quite honestly, that's Galion's calling card as well. They're the team that's going to come into this game. They're going to spread things out. It's going to be interesting to see how Carey responds after a week ago with being a problem for them against Hopewell Loudon.
You bring up Eli Steen, 6'1", 240, junior running back. He was 233 yards of Carey's 285 last week came on the ground, and Eli Steen had over 150 of those yards. Steen is going to be their most the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the guy. They're going to give the ball around a little bit, but mostly you're going to see Eli Steen, and he's going to run straight ahead.
Well, if you can remember a few years back when Eli Steen was a freshman, it was a few games into the season. He started the year as a lineman, and then it was probably about week 3 or 4 or something like that. Coach Mershman was like, man, he had just graduated. Jordan Vallejo was 260-pound running back, takes him to a state championship, and he was like, I got another big boy here who's a freshman that I can put in that backfield, and good luck taking him down.
Yeah, that recipe worked.
Absolutely.
How about we'll try it again?
So by the time Eli Steen is going to be out of Carey High School, it's going to feel like he's been playing on this field for 9 years because he's been starting since he was a freshman. And, what do you do against a guy who's 240 pounds?
Yeah. They do have a passer, the Carey Blue Devils. Kyler Bowes runs the offense. He was 4 of 12 with 2 interceptions against Hopewell. Hopewell allowed a very good defensive backfield, but that's not what Carey wants to do. Bowes is going to turn, and he's going to give it. You will see him run a little bit, but it's mostly Eli Steen.
Absolutely. I mean, and quite honestly, that goes into kind of what our keys to the game is for Galion. We know that they got to slow down the passing attack of Galion, but they just got to play their game, minimize their mistakes. Don't make the type of errors that sort of kind of hinder them, because they're not the type of team that is going to play well if they're down 2 touchdowns. That takes them out of who they want to be. If they can stay out there, just kind of pound the rock, go with the Eli Steen, and make sure that, Bowes at the quarterback position has easy passes and easy completions to make, they're going to be in much better shape.
Let's go ahead and take a quick timeout. You're listening to WQEL and the Mizik Miller pregame show. We'll be back.
Let's go.
Inside the Mizik Miller pregame show. Josh Stelling, Jeff Roberts here with you in week number 2 of high school football. Carey and the Galion Tigers coming to you tonight on WQEL and, of course, live online on the OH Report. We talked about these Carey Blue Devils. Now let's touch on these Galion Tigers. You know what their offense runs around, and that's the quarterback, Braxton Prosser. Prosser's been a big part of this offense for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Prosser, 8 of 13 last week, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 carries for 50 yards and 2 touchdowns. He can do it all. He's very fast, very elusive in the open field. Has a couple targets on the outside, and they're also going to hand it off to a variety of guys.
Yeah.
But is Carey going to attack Prosser? You know, if they want to bring a lot of pressure, that's when Galion is really going to have to get physical. You know, that I believe is a major key. Can Galion match the physicality of the Carey Blue Devils and give Prosser what the time he needs?
Yeah, when Braxton Prosser first started playing as a sophomore, we were looking at him and we're like, you know, he was a much better runner than thrower at that point in time. But Coach Matt Dick saw him as the type of player that he's going to be able to build up and he's going to, you know, build an offense around. And here a couple of years later, people were talking about it last week versus Winford. They were like, man, he was spot on his passes. Like, so he's got this running attack, his ability to kind of be elusive, run with the football, but he can just put it in the air. And, you know, the guy that, you know, just killed Winford a week ago, Jacob Chambers, 8 receptions, 3 touchdowns, had 122 yards in the air. He was the main guy, and Chambers only a junior. Can Carey match up with him? Because Prosser's going to find him if he's open. And quite honestly, a week ago, he was dropping dimes from 50 yards downfield. So if they can do that, they're going to be a real tough team for everybody, you know, because a player like Chambers, a player like Prosser is just going to be tough to stop unless you want to, you know, double and triple team those guys and constantly be having people shadow with them, and that's leaving other guys open on the field, and they do have weapons other than those two.
The Galion Tigers defensively do have some size in those trenches. Cam Kluman, one of the guys that's going to be a big-time contributor on the defensive side, gets in the backfield, very good at reading plays from his middle position. But he is going to have the read is not there. You don't have to read anything defensively against Carey. You hit the gap.
Absolutely, and that's going to be the big thing about the Galion Tigers tonight is, you know, we know who Carey is. You know, they've been the same team for as long as we can remember. It's just a matter of whether or not you've got the horses on the other side to be able to hold up to them and be able to stop that power running game. If Galion has that, they got a great chance tonight because, quite honestly, if they can get up on Carey and take them out of playing that type of power running football game, it really works against the Blue Devils. That's just not who they are. They want to be able to type of team that controls not just the line of scrimmage, but the clock, the scoreboard. You know, that's what you have to do. But the Galion Tigers, what we're going to find out here in this game is whether or not they have the ability to stop that type of power running attack. And like you said, if a linebacker like Kluman can just say, look, I know sometimes things are going to be flowing straight to me, and it's going to be my responsibility to take Eli Steen down by myself. And can Kluman be able to, is he up to that task? Bring home 250 or 240 pounds on your lonesome is not always easy. But it's going to be something he's probably going to have to do, and some of these other guys are going to have to do for the Tigers tonight.
Tables are set here for week number 2 of high school football in Carey. The Blue Devils will kick off to the Galion Tigers. Galion will head north. Galion in their traveling white unis. They got the orange pants, blue caps with the white and orange stripe. The Blue Devils all blue. Pants and jerseys, white numerals, white face mask, and the black or the blue caps.
And once again, a great night that if you're out and looking for empty homes, everybody's here in Carey tonight.
That's
because
for
out there
sure.
right now, you know, even when we pulled up, finding a parking spot was not very easy. I think people have been here since about 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Landon Prosser will kick off for the Blue Devils. Back deep for the Galion Tigers is Braxton Stuckman, Alan Carver, and number 16, Jacob Chambers. Chambers in the center. He will stand and dig his heels in at the 10. One note, it is hot.
It is,
so
absolutely.
Could get some delays for cramping tonight because it is a toasty one here in Carey. Galion. Right to left on your radio dial. Prosser approaches, sends it deep, and it is going to be Chambers. Bobbled it, picks it up at the 12-yard line. Going to head up the right side. Patiently waiting for a block. He's going to plow over the 20 and come close to the 25-yard line. And a slow developing return. Galion will start 1st and 10 at the 25.
Poor communication there between the up back and the deep back. Up back, kind of came back like he was going to catch it, but it was just a little over his head. So he then started at the last minute running forward, and it really kind of did put Chambers in a difficult situation because he didn't know if he should come up on it, so it ended up dropping at his feet. Slowed down the return, that's for sure.
Prosser, 6 foot, 175-pound senior. He is setting up in the gun. He'll send trips to the right side, 2 below us to his left. Right below us, number 7, Alan Carver. Inside of him, 13, Cohen Adams.
Chambers in the inside slot.
He wants to throw. Some pressure up the middle. Crossing route. It is complete. That's Chambers, and he lost 2 yards on that play. Just a skinny crossing pattern, and Carey all over it.
Yeah, exactly. A play that is obviously, kind of designed to kind of get a couple of yards downfield. But Carey brings so much pressure into the backfield. Prosser was backing up. Chambers' route cuts off short, and then the throw when he catches it, there's defenders all over it, so ends up going for a loss.
Chambers, Prosser split wide to the left. They got a wing inside of them. Lone receiver wide to the right. Prosser in the backfield in the gun. He's going to hand off straight up the middle on an ISO, trying to get a yard, and that is Kluman. Kluman, like I said, got 1 yard on that play. And you're going to struggle running the ball against Carey.
Especially right up the middle. That's, like I said, they see it all day long. I mean, when they're practicing against themselves, especially early in the season when they're trying to develop the offense and figure out where everybody's at, this is what they're seeing day in, day out. It's like power football right up the gut. So quite honestly, that's going to be a tough move, and it's always going to be tough sledding there against Carey.
Kluman will head wide right. Trips to the right, 2 to the left. Prosser alone in the backfield on 3rd and 10. 3-man rush for Carey. They've dropped back in zone. He's going to let it go. Wide open over the middle. That's Chambers. He's got him. Complete at the 45. He's hit and knocked down there. And an absolute BB from Braxton Prosser finds Chambers for a first down. And it's a big 3rd and 10.
Yeah, crazy that, they just kind of decided when they split 5 out that, Carey single covered all of them. They decided, all right, well, we're going to drop our linebackers back a little bit, but everybody on the receivers are going to be man on man, and that was not a good battle because Chambers was open by probably a couple of yards on a great pass from Prosser.
Carey, 3 down lineman. It's going to be an RPO. Prosser keeps it himself, falls ahead for 2. Rode that out for a long time, and that simple slant with those 3 defensive linemen, they almost knew it was coming. They slanted right to the play. Only able to get 2 on that one.
But one thing I will give credit to Matt Dick, coach of Galion, about is that throughout the years, despite the fact that he likes to throw this spread offense out and he does like to throw the football, he never really abandons the running game completely. I mean, the last couple of years he had Gabe Ivey, who was always running over 1,000 yards. A lot of teams that play this offense kind of get caught up just throwing the football. That's not what they do.
They're going to throw it quick to the right side. Chambers looking for the stiff arm, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he can't. That time, Galion went man-to-man, and Chambers didn't have a lot of space. He's head up on the safety, and good job by the safety to come down hard and make the play. That's Boston Ritter. It's going to be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, they're definitely working on, except for that one deep pass on the 3rd down where they had to, they're trying to get the ball out of Prosser's hands in a hurry. Like they're expecting Carey to have some pressure into the backfield. And, they want to make sure that they can get it into Chambers' hands, see if they can make some plays down the field. But right now on the short passes, Carey's been right on top of it. Now Galion's going to, once again, they're going to have to go downfield.
Doubles formation on 3rd and 9. Prosser with some pressure, rolling left, throwing across his body, lobbing it down, and it is well out of bounds, trying to direct Chambers down the field, but the throw wasn't there. And Galion will have to punt from their own 46.
Yep, nice defensive stand right there. And again, I wasn't really 100% sure if it was going to work out for the way that Carey set up defensively. They were giving Chambers 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, and I thought if he runs a good, really solid route, finds a little opening, they're giving him space. But sure enough, the defenders popped at him, got at him, and with Prosser throwing across his body, wasn't able to find any space. Oh,
high punt will not serve Galion very well. It takes somewhat of a Galion bounce and goes out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. So Alan Carver's first punt was a moonshot.
Yep.
Only flipped the field by about 20-some yards. Now we'll get our first look at the Carey offense. Of course, heavily revolves around Eli Steen, the junior running back, 6'1", 260.
Some of these other guys that they've got back there, though, are not, they're not little per se either. So you got a couple of different guys to look at.
Power eye. Here's Steen. Evades one tackler. He's going to fall over the 35 up to the 37-yard line. And that's the thing. You are not going to bring down Steen with just one.
And quite honestly, type of play where you look at it and say, all right, nice run for Carey, get about 4 yards. Galion, holds up. They got defenders in the hole. But those type of plays like that, they do continue to move the clock or move the ball down the field. And also, more importantly, or just as importantly, beats down a defense. You don't really see it so much early in the game, but you get to the fourth quarter, those defensive linemen and linebackers get tired.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Kurt Hay actually taking the snaps right now. 3 backs in the backfield, going to sling it out one-on-one. Trying to make a miss in the open field is Trip Phoenix. Phoenix going to pick up about 7 yards, and that will move the stick. So that's just one-on-one, my best versus your best. They hit him on a simple stop, and Phoenix does the rest.
Absolutely.
Tackle made out there by 17, Aiden Schmidt.
And that's part of the perk of being able to run the football the way the Blue Devils do is their receivers are going to see man coverage. I mean, everybody else has got to be focused on being inside and looking at that running game and making sure that Eli Steen doesn't run somebody over and end up picking up a 20, 35-yard gain, something like that. They got to pile everybody close to the line of scrimmage. So you're going to leave the cornerbacks on an island. They're going to have to do a good job.
And I apologize, not Kurt Hay. I was looking at the wrong roster.
It happens.
It is Kyler Bowes at the helm under center here. Back behind him in a 3-point. He's going to turn, but the flags come in and lined up in the neutral zone.
Against Galion.
Yep. So they'll free 5 yards.
Indication on the field is an offside on Galion. 5-yard penalty brings up
5 yard will bring up 1st and 5 from the Galion 47. And the Tigers are the Blue Devils, they're going to eat clock.
Yes, they are.
They're not a big play type of team. They just want to grind it down the field. Pistol formation here on 1st and 5. And they're going to snap it, fake the handoff, and Phoenix will carry the ball.
Yep.
Left side gets it to the 50.
Yeah, Mace Phoenix, sophomore.
No, it was Bowes.
Oh,
Bowes
it was.
kept it.
Okay. Yep, you're right. Fake the handoff, go to Bowes. Keep it to Bowes.
2nd and 3 at the 50-yard line. Checking in for the Blue Devils, Dash Puckett.
Yeah, and Puckett, 6 foot, 220 pounds too. So that's what I said. They got some other big bodies back there.
Yeah.
They got guys who can move it.
Pistol formation again. Wide receiver on either side with a slot inside of them. Quick stop. There's Phoenix. Trip. Trying to get off the tackler. Gets inside Galion territory. Falls over the 45-yard line. Brought down by Trey Longwell. Longwell just trying to hang on to that foot. Just a simple stop route.
Yeah.
Just quick hitter.
But that's the type of play that you got an offensive coordinator or a coach who's sitting in a press box looking down going, hey, they're giving us 10 yards on the outside and those guys are in man coverage.
Mm-hmm.
So minimally, you're going to get 5 yards. And even if the guy comes up and makes a really good tackle, you're still going to move the ball. And if he misses the tackle, you got a huge play.
Power eye on 1st and 10. Goes to the fullback straight ahead. That is Puckett. Puckett for 4 yards. Gang tackled in there. Puckett is that fullback set up right behind.
Comes up
Bowes.
limping. He's going to have to
He will
jog
sub
it
out.
off.
Mace Puckett will come in, as does 29, Bubba Tanner. In the first quarter here in Carey, 5:55 and counting. Galion punting on their first possession. Here's Carey looking at a 2nd and 6 inside Galion territory at the 41. Power eye again. Bowes turns, gives off. No, he's going to run the speed option. Flips it out on the outside, and carrying it was 29. That was Bubba Tanner.
Yep.
So this triple option look by Carey, keeping Galion guessing, excuse me.
It's very hard to get yourself ready for a triple option team because it's so hard to mimic it in practice. I mean, you just don't have the
dudes.
You don't have the guys. Your second string is probably not going to be as good as their first string, and your starters aren't used to running it, so they just don't run it at the same levels.
And we're going to
water
have
break?
an official timeout for water. Looks like it. So on 3rd and 3, each team will head to the sidelines, get a quick breather, and we'll take one as well. You're listening to WQEL, Week 2 of high school football, and also streaming live online on the OH Report.
This is Dwayne Watts, dad and grandfather Doug and BJ Watts, carefully built our area's leading local independent insurance agents.
Out, and Galion's saying they have it.
And they are walking away with the ball.
Recovering the football is number 3, Trevor Shipley. And Carey had a couple turnovers in week 1 against Hopewell, but they never coughed it up. There, Steen coughs it up.
Yep.
And it is going to be a big takeaway for the Galion defense.
And that was part of the reason that, because of the turnovers they had in week 1, we were kind of talking about keys for the game, and we said before it, it's like they got to minimize mistakes. This is not the type of team, the way they set up their offense, they're not built to make mistakes and be able to overcome. They're the type of team that's just going to take it over, power it up, just grind out the game. And as long as they're doing that, they're doing great. But if they're making mistakes, it's going to make things really challenging for the Blue Devils.
Late sub in for Galion. That's Sam Evans. He will set up in the backfield with Prosser. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. They go to Evans. Following a block, Evans had a little bit of a hole there. Pickup of 3 on that play, up to the 38.5. They have to, they still need to run the football.
Absolutely.
I know Galion wants that big play, and they have the weapons on the outside, but they can't allow Carey to only rush 3 or 4 guys every time.
Exactly. If they don't if they don't do that, the defense will start to spread out a little bit, and they're going to just lock down Chambers a little bit more on the outside.
7 in the box there, and they're going to bring him down in the backfield. No room for Braxton Prosser. Faked the handoff, tried to keep it himself, and brought down for a loss on that play.
Yep. Galion not doing a very good job on the line, and they missed. And it was really a designed run blitz, and sure enough, everybody missed him. And that defender coming through, he was watching it perfectly, where he's like, it doesn't matter if he hands it off or if he keeps it. I'm going to get either one of them because I'm right in perfect position. And now Galion's looking at another 3rd and long, and it's the 3rd time in the game they've seen this distance.
Doubles on 3rd and 9. Prosser rolling right, looking downfield, lets it go. Some contact over there.
A lot of contact.
The receiver fell down, intended for, is that for Landon Prosser, I believe?
Yeah,
and
I think so.
It'll bring up 4th and 9. Galion will have to punt again.
Yeah, you can definitely see a lot of, pushing and shoving down the field. Case and Sherman on coverage down there, man-to-man. But official's going to let him go.
Just a little over a minute off the clock. There's a much better punt this time.
Good high kick, too.
Down there, it's going to be fielded by number 10. That's Phoenix. Phoenix up the near side, over the 35, and pushed out of bounds.
Yeah,
and
little shove at the end, but didn't knock him down or anything, and the officials let it go.
Good kick coverage there by Galion. And Carey will have it for their second possession here in the first quarter. 3:57 to go.
I was talking to some people before the game, and so much of what we talked about is about Carey's running attack, Galion's passing attack, kind of the control power game versus the big offensive play. And a friend of mine said
a penalty on that one against Carey.
He said he goes, let me know if the field out there has like 5-inch grass. Because he was like, it wouldn't surprise me that if they were like, hey, look, keep the grass a little bit longer, let's slow the game down a little bit against a fast team. But you can see there, Trip Phoenix in the open field showing a little speed himself. But it comes back, unfortunately, as a result of the penalty. So now Carey looking at a lot of yardage in front of him.
Block in the back puts it all the way at the 17-yard line. Power eye again. Bows under center. Phoenix the deep back. Turns, gives,
another penalty,
and we'll blow it dead.
See offsides on Galion.
Yeah, Galion's going to get whistled. They'll give him 5 back.
That's again, I think second penalty on Galion.
And this Carey team, you don't want to give them 3 yards
Exactly.
offensive. They can grind out 5 yards easily.
Well, what it really does is it opens up what they can do offensively, because they know if we got 4 downs to get 5 yards, we'll do that in our sleep, so we can give up one of these plays. We can try to throw a pass. We can do something totally different.
Phoenix deep in the backfield on 1st and 5. They go to Steen. Steen, the middle back, and he goes over the 25 to the 27-yard line.
Yep, easy first
There's just
down.
that big head of steam by Eli Steen.
Yep, no problem moving the chains there.
And he just lowers the shoulder and bulldozes for the first down.
Nothing pretty about it, but doesn't need to be pretty. It's effective.
3rd first down for Carey. 3:40 to go here in the first quarter on a hot Friday evening. Phoenix again, deep in that power I. Bose under center, turns, toss play. Phoenix on the outside. A couple of Galion Tigers are there to meet him, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield, pushed out of bounds by Chambers. Great play to keep the corner by Chambers.
And it's funny because I have no doubt that there's probably some Carey fans that are like, oh, why are we trying to run it to the outside like that? But it's kind of the same reason as we talk about Galion running the football. It's, you don't want to just do every play right up the middle. You're trying to mix it up a little bit, but that does play a little bit more to some of Galion's strengths, which is some speed on the outside, able to run Phoenix down.
Also a good play there by Sam Evans. He altered Phoenix's route. Now Phoenix will motion into the backfield. Shotgun snap goes to Steen. Steen, ISO play up the middle, gets back to the 30-yard line. Good hole there for Steen.
Yep, got about 7 on that one.
Shipley on the stop, and that'll take us to about 3 minutes here in the first. Still no score in week number 2. Bubba Tanner, Puckett check in for Carey. 3rd and 7. This is big here for the Galion Tigers. 3 backs in the backfield. Bose under center. Bose turns, fakes, now hands off, counter play, into the open field goes Puckett. Puckett's got another first down.
Yep.
Just misdirection.
That's exactly
and
right.
Puckett able to sneak through the line and pick up enough for the first down.
Yeah, you fake the handoff to Steen. Most of the defense flows right to him. And when you do the misdirection in the other way, Puckett was probably 3 yards downfield before any Galion Tiger even realized he had the ball in his hands. So at that moment, it becomes pretty easy for him to be able to pick up the yardage to move the chains.
Carey also running a little bit of this play clock down. Looking at 1st and 10, ball at the 39-yard line. Phoenix splits wide to the right. Steen joins Bose in the backfield. They got a wing right. He'll motion. That's Puckett. And straight quarterback keeper. Steen leads blocking for Bose. Bose looking for the corner. Give him 4 yards as he scampers out into the Galion sideline.
A flag down right there about 2 yards downfield. That's going to be a holding against Carey, so bring it back.
Receiver out there. Caught with his hands a little bit wide, so 10 yards from the spot. We will replay first down with 2:15 to go in the quarter. Stay tuned. Coming up at the break, it is the halftime show brought to you by our friends at Mizik Miller and Matt Studer and Ken Standing Seam. Also, another edition of the Friday phone board coming up tonight. Davey Jones will be in studio looking for your phone calls, scores, shout-outs, whatever you want to talk about. Davey and the Friday night phone board. Trips to the right side for Carey, and they're going to throw into him. Slants and nobody home. Phoenix was running a go route up the seam, and Bose was trying to hit him on a quick stop.
Yep. Totally miscommunication.
Got lucky that it wasn't picked off.
Darn right. It was actually because the only thing that really saved them is that Bose didn't throw a dart, so it died out before it got to the Galion defender, who was back down there a little bit, maybe would have had a chance to get the interception. So quite honestly, it's bad miscommunication there, and it puts Carey in a tough situation. Being second and this far back, this is not built for who they are. Even if they pick up, good 7-8 yards, they're looking at a long 3rd down.
2nd and very long. Again, trips right side. Bose wants to throw. Steen staying into block.
He's in trouble.
Bose is hit. He's dropped in the backfield back at the 22-yard line. Big sack on 2nd and long. We'll see who got there. At rush end, that's 15.
Yep.
Dominic Capretta. Capretta shedding the block, and keeping his edge.
I'll say this much. You know what? Galion over the last several years has done an amazing job with their defensive linemen of getting pressure on quarterbacks. They get sacks all over. I mean, Lincoln Tyrell a year ago had 17 sacks on the season. I mean, their ability to get in the backfield from the edges is really impressive.
Play clock down to 5. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Steen in the backfield. He'll get it on 3rd and long. Steen just looking to get some of the yards back over the 30 and down at the 34. So they're looking at about 3rd and 16. Or excuse me, 4th and 16.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and that's kind of a, all right, look, we tried to pass the ball the previous couple of downs. It didn't get us anywhere, and this is just going to play to get us a little bit better yardage. And we'll punt it away and live to play some defense and hopefully get a decent punt off here.
Bubba Tanner will set up at his 20-yard line. Back deep for Galion, number 7, Alan Carver. Carver at his 30. Good clean snap, got rid of it, and a pretty good punt.
Yep.
It's going to bounce at the 37, take a very good carry roll, and all the way down to the 21-yard line.
It was funny because the punt went off the side of his foot, but so it curved a little bit to the left. It was kind of going that direction, but actually he got enough into it that he got enough distance, and then the ball was just kicked away from the returner, so he has no chance. And when you get the friendly roll, it puts Galion, pretty decent back into their own territory to have to start their drive.
We'll see one play here from the Galion Tigers and probably close out the first quarter. Sun, thankfully, starting to set here in Carey.
Amen.
It is an absolute scorcher. Doubles formation for Braxton Prosser in the 3rd drive for the Galion Tigers. Prosser digs in at the 15. He is going to hand it off. Big hole, but closed in a hurry. Carry by Kluman. I just called him Coleman, but I don't.
Yeah, that's about 3 yards, but like you said, it looked good at the beginning of the play. It didn't end good because they closed it up pretty fast.
That will close out the first quarter here in Galion. So at the end of 1, 0-0 between the MOAC and the N10. We'll take a timeout. Be back with the second quarter right after this.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
UA Insure.
And live online on the OH Report. Josh Stallings, Jeff Roberts with you here in week number 2. We will flop sides. Prosser again setting up in the gun. Wants to throw. Looking right side. Going to air it out deep to Chambers. Chambers one-on-one. Incomplete. In coverage was number 6, Lucas Smith Hayward.
Yeah. He's running with them stride for stride, but this is one of those things that if the coaching staff for Galion works during this week, they're going to say, Jacob, you got man coverage, and he's got pretty good coverage, but he's not turning around.
You got to stop and come back.
So just stop, and that defender is going to run right into you, pick up the easy penalty, go for the 15 yards at that point, because if the defender's not going to turn around, I mean, he tried to make a spectacular play over the top of him. Don't bother. Just stop and let him run right into you, and then at that point in time, you'll get your yardage.
Coleman comes wide to the right. He will set up trips. Carey rushing 3. Prosser up in the pocket. Scrambling left. Now he's going to try and keep it. Evades one defender. Prosser gets the first down and into his own sideline. Pushed out of bounds over there by number 20, Nathan Geary.
Got the first down, though. Did a really nice job we got out and initially came out of his pocket. The ball was tucked, and it looked like, yeah, he's definitely running. But when Carey started to move in on him, he peeled it back again while he was still running, like, hey, I might throw the football. And that paused the defenders. A really slick, small play, but it was enough to be able to open him up to get around the corner, get that first down.
Trips right, lone receiver to the left side. Shotgun for Prosser on 1st and 10.
Oh, another penalty.
Hard count, and Carey, I think. Oh, no. False start against Galion. Prosser was pointing like he thought Carey jumped off sides, but he was drawn off sides by the false start. So we will repeat first down here. Still no score here in Carey. Chambers in the middle of that trips formation, back in the backfield with Prosser on 1st and long. He's going to ride it out, fakes it to Coleman, keeps it himself, gets up close to the 30. Gain of about 4 yards that time for Prosser. 11-10 to go in the second quarter, and Galion going to face 2nd and 11.
The penalties have really kind of slowed down both of these teams. I mean, it's putting them in 2nd, 3rd, and long, and in a really evenly contested battle where you can see both these teams, they're having some success on both sides. Both teams occasionally will do something good on offense, but the defense does something well. Those mistakes are really, they're stopping drives.
Looking to throw near side into the flats, incomplete. He wanted Chambers, but threw it too far out in front. That'll stop it with 10:42.
It's kind of turned into, even from a week ago, look, they completed 8 passes to Chambers a week ago. They've already got 3 to him tonight, and they've thrown to him probably 6 or 7 times. At some point in time, I think Galion's going to have to throw some things on tape for those teams in the MOAC that they know there's other guys out there besides Jacob Chambers, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do now because Chambers is off the field.
Adams and Carver come near side on 3rd and 11. Prosser wanting to throw, looking right, throwing, and
another miscommunication.
A post route was ran by Carver, and Prosser thought he was going to run a flag. The flag was there, and that's incomplete, so it's going to bring up 3rd and long.
But I can't tell if that's who the target was or if it was 13. Cohen Adams ran a route where he just stopped and turned, and then he turned back like he was going to run back up the field, but he was tied up with a defender. And I don't know if that was intentional, where it was, hey, he was supposed to run kind of a stop route and just stay, or if it was supposed to be a stop and go and never got to the go.
Good punt this time. They're going to let it bounce. Hits at the 38, takes a carry roll, and it will be down at the 44-yard line. Carey gets the ball back. Their 3rd possession. Neither team with much offensive success today.
No, not at all. I mean, well, and part of it is, like I said, it's because of the penalties. I mean, they'll move the ball a little bit, get a nice play here or there, but then they'll get one penalty, put them down into a 2nd and 15 or a 1st and 15, and then it just kind of stymies what they're doing. I mean, they can't really build upon that because while Carey's got a good power running game, Galion's holding them to 4 or 5 yards at a piece. They're keeping them to you only got 3 yards on that play. That's not going to get you a first down if you're sitting at a 1st and 15. So, and it's working the same way where Galion's having to throw the ball all over the place, but doing it from long distances.
Bo's in the gun. He is going to hand off Steen straight ahead, maybe a yard. Good job by the inside linebackers for Galion.
And you know what? Give Galion, the players and the coaching staff credit. They coached up these guys on how to tackle a guy who's big like that. Because if you look at some of these guys who are making the tackles, they're probably, 70 to 80 pounds lighter than Eli Steen, but they're getting him low, they're wrapping him up, and they're waiting for help. It's like, hey, look, I'm going to get wrapped up in him, and I'm going to make it hard for him to have to make him drag me until other people arrive.
Trips right, Phoenix and Tanner out there. Bo's going to keep it himself. Skips through the line of scrimmage over the 50 and down inside Galion territory at the 47-yard line. Good keeper there by Bo's. Even better blocking, though. Big hole there on the right side A-gap.
And again, little
59,
misdirection.
That was Xavier Shellhouse. Nice job clearing the road.
Yep, and you get 6 carries already for Eli Steen. The rest of the team combined is sitting at around 6-7 carries. The Galion team is really going to focus in on him, and that's what they did. Fake the handoff to him, let Bose take it.
Power I, turn, ISO left for Steen. Steen brought down from behind.
I don't know that he got it. It's going to be pretty close. I mean, no, I think because they're in Galion territory, they'll go for it on 4th down.
Mm-hmm.
But
Jacob Martin jumped on his back and
sure
just rode him to the ground.
Rode him down.
It will be 4th and a foot. Galion will go. Bubba Tanner checks in. .8:45 and counting here in the second quarter. Play clock down to 12. And I think Galion's actually going to take a timeout. They will. Tigers take their first timeout. We'll stop it with 8:43 and a big 4th down coming up. You're listening to high school football on WQEL and the OH Report.
Let's go.
Big 4th down for the Bulldogs. Or, Bulldogs.
Yeah.
The Blue Devils.
Them too.
We're not in crest lines. Carey's going to bring out Bose under center. Steen in the
Right
backfield.
ahead.
Straight ahead. And
did they get it? I don't know.
I don't know if he did, Jeff.
That was a great job by the lineman. That 53 right there for Galion.
Line judges come in. They're going to talk.
Coleman.
Oh, they're not even going to measure. They're just straight giving it to him.
Oh, that. Ooh. Look at the Galion coaching staff's all pointing the other way. Like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, but they did. They gave it to him. Home field advantage.
Here's our replay courtesy of the OH Report. And he was hit and dropped. I don't know that he did.
I don't know that he did either. But, I'll tell you what, he did a great job. I mean, that was, like I said, Coleman coming in. He got him right around the legs right away and was able to kind of drop him sideways. He wasn't able to necessarily go completely full straight ahead, but got the first down.
Got enough. Bose, pressure in the backfield. He's going to scramble for it. He's not going to get away. Pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Maybe a loss of a foot.
Sally coming in. Got a hold of him, was kind of reaching out, and he spun down to the ground. Didn't get a great, he didn't have a great angle at him, but he got a hold of the jersey, and then he just didn't let go. He was just like, I'm holding on to you. I'm just going to drag you, pull you, and Bo's not able to get away from him. Ends up running out of bounds for no gain.
2nd and 10. Power I for Bose and the Blue Devils. Toss play. Steen moving near side. Good kick out block.
Yep.
Steen. Flags come in.
Everywhere, though.
Steen gets up to the 40. Brought down by 53, Cam Coleman.
A lot of bodies in there pushing, and it looked like a good paving road, good power running. But, I think they were looking at it going, yep, but the way you were holding him, like you were pushing him because the way you were holding that jersey made it easy for you to push him. So 2 officials saw it, easy to see. So another penalty against Carey, and it backs him up. Makes it tough, a 2nd down and long.
Penalties at inopportune times for both teams.
Yep.
Really hampered the offense. Still no score. 7:53 to go in the half. Trips to the right side. Trip Phoenix wide out there. Bose wants to throw. Stepping up in the pocket. Going to air it out. Soft touch pass. And it's going to be intercepted down at the 22.
He dropped it.
Oh,
when he hit the ground.
Great play, though, by Alan Carver.
Yep.
Carver cutting right in front of the intended receiver. Picked it out of the air, but couldn't hold on to the catch.
Yep.
Also, a good job by Bose. Stepped up in the pocket beautifully, floated it out there, and it looked like he had tripped Phoenix for a second.
Yeah. But he put too much air under the ball, and that allowed Carver, who was playing kind of a deep safety, to come in, step right in front of it. And again, it's one of those plays. It's risk-reward as the safety. He's like, I'm going to play the ball, see if I can make an interception. If he pulls it in, it's a big play. If he misses it, it's going to go for a touchdown. He had the chance there, hit him right in the hands, and when he hit the ground, it just slipped out.
Passing, no, they're going to run it. Scrambling is Bose, keeps it himself, gets to the 50, drugged down from behind.
Yep, well done. Chased him down there. That's defense. Bose doesn't even see the defender coming from the backside. They're running that triple option. They fake the handoff in the middle, and, he's kind of looking down the field, trying to figure out if he should pitch the ball. But the the tackle comes from behind him. So, he didn't realize that there was a guy who was sneaking up on him, and it's going to make Carey punt once again.
Another stalled drive. Blue Devils will punt from their 50. And Alan Carver will dig in at his 15. Kind of a low punt. Carver drifts over, grabs it at the 15, starts to the left side, now cutting back right, and Carey's all over him. Nowhere to go for Alan Carver. Getting down there for Carey, 44, Beck and Sherman. Couple other, Braden Kitzler, I believe, also down there for the Blue Devils.
It's been very interesting. You're looking at this roster for Carey. The last several years, they've always graduated a lot of players, but we always saw a lot of returning players that we were familiar with. This year, they do have some good returning players, no question about it, and they had a very good JV team. But there's a lot of guys out there seeing Friday night action for the first time.
Yeah.
And this is, starting in Friday night action. So this is a young team that's still kind of learning, and you can see it in the mistakes that they're making.
Trips left. Lone receiver to the right side. Prosser switches the back. Prosser looking to scramble. Cuts upfield. Prosser, nice block on the outside. Gets over the 25 and goes down there at the 26-yard line.
Yep.
Good block by the receiver.
Yep, giving him a little
space.
space.
That was Carver. Also, Sam Evans contributing to that play in a big way.
Absolutely. All of those guys did a nice job of getting in front of Carey. And Prosser, you can see his ability with his legs because – when he was even coming around there, he saw exactly where Carver was going to make that block, and he just slid in right behind the block to give himself a little bit of extra yardage.
Prosser in the gun. Wants to throw it this time. Throwing left. Passes caught at the 30. Moving up the sideline, 35, 39-yard line. That was
Colton
20.
Flynn.
Yep. Oh, excuse me.
Yep,
19, not 20. Yeah, Colton Flynn. Ritter on the stop, but a first down for the Galion Tigers.
Yep, nice 15-yard pickup. And again, you get 8 yards on first down. That makes things a lot easier for this Galion offense on second down.
5:50 in the half. Doubles formation. Prosser wants to throw it. Good pocket. Has all day. Post route across the middle into traffic. Almost caught it off the tip.
Yep.
That was a very risky throw. Getting a hand on it was Tripp Phoenix.
Yeah, the coaching staff from Carey is going to have a lot of conversations with Tripp about the way he played it. Because he was in position to probably even, make an interception, do something. But he kind of lackadaisically kind of threw his hand up in the air like, oh, okay, I can slap that down. And instead of really knocking it down or going for the interception, he just put a hand on it, and it just popped right up in the air as a result. And it did give Chambers an opportunity to get the ball. I mean, I think part of it is Tripp overran it a little bit. But still, he had an opportunity there that he missed. 2nd and
10. He is going to hand it off and nowhere to go. Oh, Evans breaks free. Gets up and over the 50 for a first down.
Yeah, broke that first tackle. Like you said, he was going nowhere.
I was already looking down to see who made the tackle.
Yep. It was, he was stopped right there at the line of scrimmage, and he broke right through it. And then there was no Carey Blue Devils around. It would have been a 2-yard loss.
Just ran through Logan Summit.
Yep, and sure enough, just kept it running. Sure enough, 12 yards later, they're into Carey territory.
Trips right. Again, Evans in the backfield.
Carey going to take a timeout.
Yep. Carey, they want the ball back before half. 5:19 to go before the break, and the first timeout called by Carey. So we'll take one as well. You're listening to Week 2 action on WQEL and live online on the OH Report.
Let's go.
Up inside the Friday night phone board immediately following our broadcast here from Carey. 1st and 10 for the Galion Tigers. Evans in the backfield with Prosser, trips to the right side. Prosser wants to throw, has time, airs it out one-on-one over there on the far side, intended for Alan Carver. But just too much of a back shoulder throw, and Carver couldn't get on it.
Yep, coaching staff for Galion's coming over right after the ball. I was like, man, he's really upset. Did he think it was, kind of pushing down the field? And it was like, nope. He was coming up there, and he was yelling at Prosser, going like, where are you throwing to there? And Prosser was kind of saying, like, I thought I could get him on the outside, kind of a back shoulder throw. But good defense once again by Carey.
Clock stopped at 5:13. 2nd and 10, ball just in Carey territory. Prosser is going to hand off. Evans with a nice alley. Evans into the open field. 30, 25 in a foot race. Evans up the center, and he can't quite get there. But a huge run by Evans inside the 5. He's down at the 2-yard line.
Yep, 47 yards.
What a running lane for Evans, cleared by the Galion front. And great job getting to the second level by 50. That was Sam Estep. Got off his initial block, went to the linebacker, didn't totally engage, didn't dominate the block, but altered his course just enough to spring him into the open field, and now Galion's going to hurry it up. Prosser in the gun, gives to Evans. Evans up the right side, untouched into the end zone. Sam Evans, our first score of the night.
Just like that, beautifully done, and that's the reason why even when you're a running or you're a passing team, you never abandon the running attack, because when you've got that defense spread out and you've got a team up front that can block a little bit, there it is. I mean, that was a nice big hole. Evans recognized it. Play actually designed to go a little bit more to his left, but he saw the hole was
good
so
vision.
He just took one step back to the right and was able to just walk in untouched.
Carver for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. 4:54 to go in the first half, and Galion finds the end zone. A 2-yard touchdown run by Sam Evans makes it 7-0. Carey with the ball when we come back.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown. We're back on WQEL 92.7 FM and WQEL.com. Thank you for joining us tonight. Also streaming it live online on the OH Report.
Carey going to get enough time, on the clock here to be able to get back downfield and see if they can get some points on the board. But they got to stop making mistakes.
Still 2 timeouts.
Yep. And I think Galion's got to feel pretty good because, I think there was this feeling of we're going to have to get points, throwing the football, get some guys open. Maybe Chambers can break open one in the open field. But sure enough, it's on the ground that they get it. Sam Evans breaking open that big 48-yard run, got it down to the probably 1.5-yard line. They scored it as a 1-yard run in. And a super impressive performance right there by Galion on that drive. It's been a real battle back and forth, and they've finally hit the first real good solid punch in this game.
Well, and they get Carey on their heels with that big run, and then they hurry it right back up, get on the line, plow it in for 6. Lucas, Smith Hayward, and Trip Phoenix back deep. Carver tees it up. Low line drive is going to be over the head, picked up at the 5-yard line by Phoenix. Phoenix looking for an opening. Phoenix, stiff arm at the 10. Phoenix gets up to the 15, goes down just across the 15-yard line, and somewhat made something out of nothing there.
Yeah. Although, he was spending a lot of time just he stopped for probably a full second looking for someplace to run.
Made 3 guys miss on that play.
Yeah, made some guys miss, but he had to put in a lot of extra effort. I always just say keep the feet running. Keep going downfield. When you just stop like that, stops your momentum, gives the defense a lot more time to get down the field. He had to make a special play to even be able to get those 5 extra yards.
Carey will have to go 84 yards in 4:46 to answer. Power I formation, Bo's under center. Toss play coming near side. He's up over the 15, and that was Bubba Tanner. Tanner taking the toss play for about 2 yards, maybe 3. Chambers on the stop, and they'll give him the 20-yard line. So a gain of 4 on that, 2nd and 6. Carey still with 2 timeouts here in the second quarter. Tight end in a wing right, power I formation behind Bose. Bose snaps, gives to the fullback. No, toss play. There is Tanner again, and Tanner no gain on that play.
Triple option, but they had everybody packed in tight, so did Galion. They had everybody packed in tight, and they just kept flowing to the football, and the defensive linemen never got pushed off the ball. And that allowed everybody to be able to flow, and there was no real place for Tanner to make the move upfield.
And credit to these Galion DBs and outside linebackers. They're doing a great job keeping their corners in the contain, not letting the Carey Bulldog or Blue Devils ball carriers get outside of them.
Absolutely. Keeping it inside the tackles and just flowing everything to the linebackers who are tackling well.
3rd and 6. Bo's under center again. Has the snap, turns, gives to Tanner, and he's wrapped up, lost on the play by Sam Evans. Evans knifing through and brings down Bubba Tanner in the backfield.
So they go 3 straight runs there, and they get basically 3 yards. And, Galion, because of the way Carey's lining up, Galion knows this is going to be a running play. We're just going to sell out on the run. Everybody's coming through, and they wiped off probably, a minute and a half off the clock, a little bit more with it keeping running here. They're going to take their time to punt this. But Galion's going to get some decent field position here.
And plenty of time. End over end punt. He'll let it bounce at the 49.
Yep, surprising.
Kind of takes a sideways hop.
Yeah, Carver even
roll down to the 45. But a short field here for Galion, their best starting field position. And the Galion D steps up big time following the touchdown. And holds Carey, quick 3 and out. And that's 3 straight punts and a fumble for Carey.
We were talking about before the season started that these early games against Winford and Carey is going to give Galion a look. Yes, they're not teams that they're going to see in the MOAC. MOAC's, bigger schools, some really great competitors and talent in that league. And it's not going to be the same types of teams. These teams are kind of built to run the football. A lot of teams in the MOAC are going to throw the football like crazy this year. But if nothing else, it is showing that even against big, strong, powerful teams, they hold up real well. They're tackling well. They're doing some really good things out there.
So with 2:42, Galion sets up at their own 45. Trips to the left. Prosser joined by Coleman in the backfield. Lone receiver to the right is Carver. Got the snap, looking for Carver on a quick slant. Diving catch made by Carver. Gets it inside Carey territory at the 49-yard line. Good effort there by Carver to haul it in.
Absolutely. Pass thrown low and a little in front of him, and Carver just did what he could. Make that catch, move the clock, and it does, move the chains. Not move the chains, but moves it down where they get into Carey territory now. So here, still with 2:15 on the clock and moving, they're at the 49-yard line of Carey, and an opportunity, like you said, plenty of time on the clock to move down the field and get it in for some points.
Also with 2 timeouts. Now Coleman splits wide to the left. Empty backfield here. Play clock down to 5. Prosser rolling left. He's going to try and keep it, cut it up. Prosser looking for the first down. He's going to be about a yard shy. Tackle made in there by 30. That's Carter Boehm.
But that's the type of play, and if you watch it back, where it's designed to go a little more outside, he does not have a space to go there.
Well, Chambers missed his block. Chambers needed to come down and crash.
But he was going to take it further outside. Linebacker stood up, and he was like, oh, I can't go there. So he was really smart to just cut back inside. Sometimes you just have to have the vision to figure out where the holes are going to be so you can get what you can get. Got 3 yards.
A lot of time there around off. Coleman's going to sweep it around the left side. He's got the first down and more. Coleman off 35, down to the 34-yard line. Great run there by Coleman.
Darn right. Go about 12 on that play. And again, whenever they seem to be now giving it to Evans and Coleman, the guy who's in the backfield with Prosser, they're finding space against this Carey defense. 1:15 on the clock and moving now.
Galion's not really in much of a hurry. They have it at the 34, but Clock approaching a minute.
Now, they will get man coverage on the outside, and Carey's bringing everybody in tight. So if they want to go deep, they
Lois
can.
is Carver. They're going to run it, though. Evans trying to stretch it out. Flag comes in. Evans off a couple tackles, still moving his feet, and gets over the 30-yard line. Gets positive yards, but that flag probably going to bring it back.
Yep, going to go against Galion. So
A hold.
Another penalty.
And he was even thrown forward for more yards.
Would have ended up being a 5-yard pickup on what probably should have been a 2-yard loss. Again, great effort right there by Evans and recognizing there is no place for me to go here. I'm just going to cut it back. Made a nice play, but the hold ends up negating anything. And now it's going to be tough. 55 seconds left. And that's the 44-yard line. Probably going to have to go to the air. And I think Carey, the difference is Carey's going to have to know that they're going to the air.
Carver and Adams wide to the right. Chambers to the left. Evans in the backfield.
There
they
it
want
is.
to throw.
In the middle.
Open across the middle. Oh, what a play made by Trip Phoenix.
Oh,
now a flag's going to come in.
They're going to say that it's a pass interference on that play. The question is, are they going to say Chambers grabbed Phoenix as he was trying to make the play, or did Phoenix grab him from behind to step in front of it? No, I don't think he did. I don't think he touched him at all.
I don't know that.
That seemed very clean.
This is going to be an interesting.
Very, very clean. They're going to say it's against Carey.
Phoenix. I don't think Phoenix had a hold of it.
I didn't see it on the replay. I didn't see it at all. That's a good
replay brought to us by the OH.REPORT.
There's the throw over the middle.
Unloads. I think that's a great play, unless it happened
prior and his hands were on him as they were running down the field.
Well, it's not even. Oh, it's 15 yards.
Yeah,
not
it was 15.
Foul.
Yep, exactly.
So a free first down, 1st and 5. And
play
toss play, Carver making a couple guys miss, still on his feet at the 30. Now he's going to have to cut it off. There's a flag.
Yep,
all over the place.
Yep, they got him on the crackback there as a defender. When you come in the other direction, sometimes you see those blindside blocks or whatever.
Sherman.
You're going to see it on the replay here. We're going to see it, number 20 right there.
Yep. Cleaned him.
Yep, Landon Prosser. Gets a free crack at a
Circled
defender
back around,
circled back, got him clean. So
a couple penalties here on back-to-back plays.
And there's 28 seconds left on the clock, and I'm sure on the previous plays down, there was sort of kind of this feeling that, we were kind of looking at going, they're not playing super aggressively, so I was like, maybe they feel good with their field goal kicker. They can maybe knock out a decent-sized field goal, but they just keep putting themselves deeper, and it's going to make it a whole heck of a lot harder to be able to do anything.
Carey's going to get the ball coming out of the break, and if you're Galion, you're looking like you really need to get points here, because if you put Carey down 2 scores, that is not a team that's built to come back.
That was sort of the whole point, even just coming into it. We were talking about it. We even said as kind of one of our pregame keys is that it's like, look, get ahead in the game and take Carey out of playing their game. If you can get up a couple of touchdowns, Carey's going to come up because they get the ball first. They're going to try to run the football first. But if you stop them again and you can score some points, you get them down by, 2-3 scores with a lot less time on the clock, they're going to move away from what they normally do and what they're really good at because they have to.
Timeout taken by Galion. We'll go ahead and keep it right here as we're nearing halftime here in Carey. Some other games tonight. Buckeye is at Ada, Cardington at Mohawk, East Knox at Winford, Gibsonburg is at Seneca East, Mount Gilead taking on Upper Sandusky, Waynesville Goshen traveling to Crestline, Bucyrus over at Triad, Clear Fork at Granville, Ashland at Marion Harding, Highland at Dalton, Hopewell Loudon at Pleasant, Shelby at Lex, Macomb is taking on Crestview, and Arlington's at Riverdale. Of course, Davy Jones coming up inside the Friday night phone board, so Davy will have all your scores, looking for all your scores. And, of course, that's coming up following our broadcast. So, 1st and 21. Ball at the 45 of Carey. Trips to the right side. Prosser wants to throw. 3-man rush by Carey. He's going to air it out deep. Chambers is open. Chambers down there. Did he haul it in?
I think he
caught it at the 4-yard line. Chambers doing a great job to create some space. and he hauls in the over-the-shoulder catch. It was kind of fluttering by the time it got there. What a catch by Chambers.
You know, it was interesting. He was wide. I mean, he got a lot of space between the defender that was covering him, but Prosser overthrew him, but left it up in the air so much that he was able to still kind of run it down. Carey defense doesn't really recognize it, and ends up being a huge play, and a timeout going to be called now with 17 seconds left on the clock.
So after a few penalties and changing of the field position, Galion connects on a bomb, and they're set up golden inside the red zone.
Yep.
We'll take a quick timeout. The team's going to get some water. We'll see if Galion can punch it in when we come back.
Yep, 17 seconds left on the clock.
Evans will join Prosser in the backfield. He's in a shotgun formation. Trips to the left, snap goes over his head. Ball is loose, and
I think Evans got it back.
Evans was able to fall on it.
Carey had their chance.
Goodness.
You know what?
Prosser just shooting themselves in the foot.
Prosser overran it. It left a bunch of Carey guys there with the opportunity to pick it up, and they couldn't get a handle on it. Evans ends up saving the day, but you said it right, shooting themselves in the foot instead of being on the 4-yard line. They're going to be
another timeout.
About the 13, so 9-yard loss.
I believe it was Galion to take the timeout, but I never saw an official make a signal. So, again, it'll be 2nd and goal. This time, the ball back at the 13-yard line. So we'll be back for 2nd down right after this.
This is it.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Space in the slots, so if
Looks
you want
like
to hit
man-to-man.
quick slant on one of those plays, you might get something.
Prosser wants to throw,
That's what
throws
they're
that
looking
slant
for.
into traffic, and it's too high for the intended receiver, Chambers.
It was funny because
was he looking?
Yeah, no, he was.
Okay, was it
that's
Chambers?
Yeah, and it was funny because they tried to
No,
kind
that
of
was
look.
18.
Yeah, you're right.
Kurt Hay.
They were trying to look right side and try to keep the focus off the slot receiver running the slant right there, and they were hoping that they can kind of pull the Carey defense over that way. When he turned back and unleashed the pass, the defense hadn't moved, and by that point in time, he had moved himself right into position for tight defense.
So Carver's actually going to attempt a field goal here on 3rd down.
That looks good.
Got enough, but missed it wide right. Couldn't quite bend it around enough. There was 6 seconds on the clock. With a timeout, you'd think you'd have enough time to run a quick play, at least put the ball in the center of the field, but Galion opts to kick the field goal on 3rd down, and Carver misses it wide to the right. So Carey will trot back out on the field for 2 seconds, probably just a quick play, and they'll go to the half and be grateful that their defense was able to hold up, because Galion had a golden opportunity there multiple times inside the red zone and couldn't get it done.
Well, look, they got to be grateful that Galion's making as many mistakes as they are, because, messed up snap. How many penalties did they have that kept bringing them back to the 40-yard line? I mean, the only thing that put them in position was the big 41-yard pass that got them down to the 4. Then one play later, they gave up 9 yards again. So Galion's making mistakes as well. That's, making life a little bit easier on Carey.
They'll actually spread it out here. Bo's in the pistol, and he's going to throw. Stepping up. Going to chuck it deep. Out there, and it's going to be intercepted. Here we go. 17, Aiden Schmidt looking for a return.
Back to
Schmidt
the
with some
50.
blockers at the 45.
Yep.
He's grabbed and slung down at the 42. So Schmidt comes up and denies the deep ball attack by Carey, and Galion will take a 7-0 lead to the half. Stay tuned. It's the Mizik Miller halftime show. When we come back, you're listening to WQEL and the OH Report.
The Galion Tiger Marching Band would like to wish all of the student athletes at both schools the best of luck during the fall season. Go Tigers!
Ladies and gentlemen, led from the podium by Drum Major Mason Twining, we proudly present the 2024 Pride of Carey, the Carey High School Blue Devil Marching Band. The Pride of Carey Blue Devil Marching Band begins tonight's band senior show halftime with music selected by the seniors. Our first selection is from the seniors' freshman year in fall of 2021. This song came from a show that was all about magic. Written and performed by Pete Townsend for their rock opera Tommy. This song reached as high as number 15 on the U.S. pop charts in 1969. Featuring senior majorette Tate Fredericks, here is Pinball Wizard. This song was never released as a single in the U.S., but managed to top many charts all over the world. This arrangement was done by senior Brody Baker and features senior majorette Maddie Bowers. Here is Heart-Shaped Box.
92.7 FM and WQEL.com. Inside the Mizik Miller halftime show, brought to you by our friends Roger Miller, Matt Orion, Zach Chatlin at Mizik Miller, and also our friends Matt and Tammy Studer at Ken's Standing Scene. Halftime score, Galion 7, Carey 0 here at the Burkhart Farm Center Game of the Week. And Jeff, both offenses really struggling in that first half.
Yeah.
So a couple turnovers. The late interception was, Carey was chucking it up there, but 3 straight punts and then the interception. A fumble for Carey to start the game, and they can't really get anything going offensively. This Galion front has really stepped up against this big offensive line for Carey and that truck of a running back in Eli Steen.
Oh, no doubt about it. But, Carey's just not doing themselves any favors either. Between, the one interception at the end is not that big of a deal, but they still have 2 turnovers. They had another one, a fumble by Steen. Both teams have got 5 penalties or whatever in this game at this point in time. I think one's got 5, the other one's got 4, but they've been costly, cost them a lot of yards. I mean, Carey's got 4, but they got 50 yards in penalties, and Galion's got 5, got 45 yards in penalties. Ultimately, while Galion is playing very, very good and probably outplaying Carey at this point in time, it's not by such a sizable manner that Carey has to kind of revamp what they're doing, because Galion's left enough openings to keep the Blue Devils in the game. It's just going to be really interesting to see how things pan out as they come out for the second half.
It will be Carey to get the football to start this second half, and if you're Galion, you got to really build on this 7-0 lead. You got to come out with intensity and get a quick stop, because you can put Carey in a hole with 2 scores.
Well, that's the point, is that, we said coming into the game, I thought that the keys to victory was that for Galion, get up on Carey. If you can get a couple of scores up on them, it takes them out of their game. And then all of a sudden, they got to start doing something that they're not comfortable with. On the flip side, I thought that for Carey, one of the biggest things that they had to do was just not make mistakes. And they've been making mistakes all over the place. So it's interesting to see how things are kind of been playing out. Can Galion get that extra score that they need? Can Carey stop shooting themselves in the foot and actually get a solid drive and get this goose egg off the board?
Blue Devils filing out of the locker room now here at Carey High School. Week number 2 of the Burkhart Farm Center Game of the Week. Galion comes in at 1-0. Carey at 0-1, a tough loss against Hopewell in week number 1. And Jeff, thinking about it, if Galion can hold on, when was the last time Carey started at 0-2?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, we didn't think much about the loss to Hopewell because we knew Hopewell Loudon's always pretty good. And quite honestly, even a few years back, again, different time, different players. For the most part, the year that Carey won the state, they lost the first game of the year to Hopewell Loudon that season. So it's like, okay, not the end of the world. And especially, I don't think it's the end of the world when you're looking at it from Coach Merschman's perspective, because I think he looks at the N10 and says, all right, looking at this league, I mean, Crawford's going to probably be a battle. We maybe get another game or 2 that might be a challenge, but we're going to pretty much beat everybody else. So I think he's probably looking at it going, let's play a tough out-of-conference schedule. Even if we lose a few games there, I want my team used to playing tough competition, because now that there's 16 teams that make the playoffs, even if we go 6-4, we're going to still make it. I just want to have my guys ready and have them used to playing tougher competition. It's kind of a smart game plan if you really think about it. He's not really worrying probably so much about the wins and losses at this point in time. It's more about general improvement on his team, so that way they can get into the league, be ready to try to win another N10 title, and get ready for maybe a little bit of a playoff run as well.
You want to go ahead and check halftime
stats?
Let's
do that. We'll start things off with the Carey Blue Devils. Eli Steen leading the team on the ground, 34 yards for him on 7 carries, 16 yards for Kyler Bowes. As a team, they only got 61 yards total rushing, and then passing the football. Bowes is just 2 of 5 for 11 yards, the interception at the end. Both those completions to Trip Phoenix. So as a team, 72 yards of offense is all they've had, and they've got the 2 interceptions, or excuse me, the 2 turnovers, 1 interception, 1 fumble. They've also got 50 yards of penalties. So if you look at it, 22 yards of total offense, 50 yards of penalties, that is not a good way to be able to get points on the board. Doesn't surprise us that they're struggling at this point. Galion, on the other hand, being led, Sam Evans, 55 yards on the ground, 5 for 55. Actually would have more than that, but recovered the 9-yard loss on the fumble at the end there. Does have the touchdown run. Prosser's got some yardage on the ground too, so they got 97 yards rushing, throwing the football. Prosser right now 6 of 14, 80 yards. 4 of those completions to Jacob Chambers for 59 yards. As a team, they've got 177 yards of offense, but again, they've given up 45 yards in penalties as well. They don't have the turnover problems, but you can kind of see when you kind of break it down, they're looking at about 130 yards of total offense when you get away from the penalties they've given up. It's not surprising they've got 1 score on the board, haven't really been able to turn it into 2 or more.
Certainly a different game than what these two teams had played in week number 1. Both offenses exploding.
Yep.
Here, it's the defense in week number 2. Let's look around the area at a couple area scores. Of course, Davy Jones coming up inside the phone board. We'll be looking for scores from around the area. Give him a call inside the Friday phone board. Plymouth is beating Willard at the break 14-12. Bucyrus and Triad tied at 6. Mohawk putting a hurt on Cardington 41-6. Northmore dominating South Central 42-0. Columbian getting taken to the cleaners by Chardon. They're down 35-0 at the half. Madison over River Valley 14-0. East Knox 12, Winford 6, and Hopewell Loudon 15, Pleasant 8. Those are just some of the area scores here in week number 2 of high school football. And I'll remind you again, Davy Jones inside the phone board. We'll be looking for all of them coming up after this game. At the break, it is Galion 7, Carey 0. We'll take a quick timeout in the third quarter right after this.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Really struggling.
Yeah.
A fumble on their first possession, 3 straight punts, and then chucking it up with 2 seconds. They throw an interception. But Eli Steen and Bose, Coach Merschman, desperately trying to figure something out here to get it going offensively.
Well, I think at this point in time, he's got to be pretty unhappy with the way things are going, but he also knows that his team's still in the game. There's been enough, mistakes and enough to keep him close. And quite honestly, it's also, they are still playing Carey football right now, where they're just sort of kind of running the football. And maybe there's this piece of them that's just hoping, if we keep just doing what we're doing, we can keep it competitive, we can keep it close, we can get maybe a score in at some point in time here. Can we just pound this team down? But maybe fourth quarter, Galion starts getting a little bit tired. That has been part of the Carey strategy for a long time. You got a big running back, you get a big offensive line, you just lean down on them until they just get to the point where it's like, man, I'm exhausted now because I've got these 250-pound guys that are just keeping leaning on me play after play after play. They seem up for it. I'm tired, So will that be sort of something that they can do playing into the second half here, or will Galion continue to hold up and, keep Steen from, running really big yards? At this point in time in his 7 carries, his longest run is 7 yards. So, they're preventing him from breaking anything big open. They're making him work for it.
The Galion D will be called upon here to start this third quarter. Carey will receive and head north. The defense has been up to the challenge so far. We'll see what adjustments were made at half, if they can match this physicality of the Carey Blue Devils.
And so far, they've had no problem matching the physicality. I mean, and quite honestly, I spoke to, a few people who were at the Winford Galion game a week ago, and they said, look, when you looked at it from the stands, it looked like Winford was bigger and a lot more physical, but mysteriously Galion was pushing them all over the place. So, sometimes size doesn't always equal physicality. I mean, it's usually a pretty good recipe to decide, oh, okay, this team's bigger than the other one, they're probably going to be more physical, but that's not always the case.
Nope. Trip Phoenix back deep, standing at his 5-yard line, joined back there by Lucas Smith Hayward. And we'll have number 7, Alan Carver, to send it deep for the Galion Tigers. Not really sure what we continue to wait on. The clock's been reset.
It literally just went, and then took about 5 seconds to have a conversation with the kicker, which he could have been having.
They were trying to finish Metallica.
Yes, the previous 30 seconds while they were standing there, but now we're I think ready to do it here.
Carver tees it up, and we are set for third quarter action here on WQEL and the OH Report.
First time we're seeing the special teams of Carey here on the return team.
Sends it deep. Will field it at his 10. Here comes Smith Hayward. Hayward with a little bit of an opening over to 30, pushing for the 35, getting off tacklers, still moving the pile, and he goes down at the 36-yard line. Great return there by Lucas Smith Hayward.
I think, part of the reason he gets those extra yards at the end is the ball was a little away from his body, so some of the defenders were trying to go after it and go for the strip instead of just getting him down. They weren't able to get the ball out of his hands, but he was able to keep slipping away from it. Got probably an extra 5 yards as a result, maybe even a little more.
They'll spot it at the left hash. Trip Phoenix goes wide to the left. 83, Bryce Puckett wide left. Or wide to the right, Puckett's wide left. And in motion, Bose. Toss play, Steen going to cut it up the gut. Steen barrels over a defender at the 38, falls down at the 39-yard line.
Yep, Sam Evans in there, and so same with Coleman. I mean, that's those guys just consistently up the middle, and they've been smart about the way they're tackling them. They never go up high against Steen. They're just taking him around the ankle. They're wrapping up nice and tight, making sure that he can't get away from them, and they're dragging him down.
Again, one to the right, one to the left. Bose in a pistol with Steen behind him. Split wings on either side. Galion showing blitz. High snap, turns, gives to Steen. He's met immediately, maybe a foot.
Yeah, got a yard out of it because he was able to just jump forward when he realized this play is completely broken and I got a body on my back. So I'm just going to jump it ahead, but that bad snap, it was actually a pretty good play by Bose to make sure it didn't get away. They were able to still get something going, but ultimately just messed up all the timing on the play. Everything's broken up as a result.
Good time blitz by Sam Evans. 3rd and 6. Ball is spotted at the 40-yard line. Play clock already down to 10. Here comes Carey out of the huddle. Smith Hayward, Phoenix go wide to the left. Shotgun formation. Bose has it, wants to throw. Looking flat over the middle. He has it caught. Smith Hayward for a first down over the 50, down at the 49-yard line of Galion. Just found the opening, settled in, and a good ball by Bose.
All the defense overran, thinking they were going to go outside. There was a slot receiver who was cutting outside. They all thought he was going to be where they went with the football. So they all ran to him. And the moment they ran past that play, Smith Hayward was cutting in the other direction, left him a nice gap for him to be able to catch that pass from Bose.
Steen sets up 3 backs behind Bose. Hard count, and they're getting him to jump. Coleman jumps off sides. So Carey pulling a fast one there and a free 5 yards. That's where you got to, and you got to be aggressive, but you also got to be focused.
A little discipline still, and again, you are dealing with some young players out there. They're only in their second varsity game as starters. You expect to see some mistakes, but with good football teams, you expect to see it more minimized, good coaches, things like that. But
3 backs behind Bose. Bose going to turn, wants to throw it. Sets up into the flats. Pass complete over the 40, inside to the 36-yard line, complete to Bubba Tanner.
Yep.
So this Carey offense starting to click a little bit.
Bubba Tanner getting wide open. Actually, it actually took Bose a little bit longer to see him than I think did most of the fans. I mean, he was wide open for quite a while. But Bose, realizing he had time, took his time and made sure he threw a nice solid pass.
We'll go tight formation. Double tight, 3 backs behind Bose, under center. Bose turns, gives Steen, no counter play, goes to Puckett. Puckett up the left side, and he's close for a 7-yard gain, but a hold on that play is going to bring it back.
Bringing it back every time. They just can't seem to, and it's right around the initial line of scrimmage. So when you look at it from where they were at there,
Back-to-back first downs and then a penalty.
And this is what's been killing Carey all night. I mean, and quite honestly, I mean, that was a really well-executed misdirection in the backfield. I mean, I was staring at Steen. I mean, and I got a better bird's eye view of it than the players do. They did a nice job of hiding where the football was actually at, but it doesn't matter.
Bose again under center, snaps, fakes it, gonna throw, pressure coming from behind. He's hit.
Oh.
He somehow gets rid of the football.
Yep.
It falls incomplete. He was drugged to the ground. In there was Trevor Shifley. A couple other Galion Tigers putting pressure on Bose.
Yep. He ended up giving the pat on the helmet, saying, hey, that was pretty impressive because they got him kind of on the up high. He was able to kind of drag away from it, but then they had him right around the waist, so it was like he had bodies all over him, and he somehow was able to release the ball. And
lucky he didn't fumble.
That's what I was initially thinking. I'm like, ooh, this is kind of dangerous that he didn't tuck it, but got rid of it.
Power eye behind Bose. Ball at the 46. Toss play right side. Trip Phoenix looking for the edge. Phoenix is hit at the 50 and brought down. Knifing in and getting to him was Trey Longwell. Longwell able to get off the block, keep the edge.
I'll tell you right now, Dominic Capretta, the defensive lineman, is the one who makes that play happen. He
stretches it out.
He's got three linemen on him, and he's stretching them. He had no place to be able to cut and make it up the field. He just kept kind of having to go east-west, and Capretta was running him down from the interior of the defensive line and made it so his teammate could come over and make a great tackle.
And now it's going to be 3rd and almost 25.
Yep.
After Carey, who's having some success moving the football, backed up. Need a big play here. Bose going to set up the throw. In the pocket. Bose has all day. Unloads in the middle of the field. It's a jump ball, and it's incomplete. Great coverage. They want a flag and a very late call.
That's as late as it gets. And it came from a sideline official. And he was
30 yards away.
I better be honest with you. He was right, though, because I was watching it, too. If you watch the defender, who was not the man coming over, he runs right into him, sort of kind of knocks him over, knocks him down. I don't know how much the collision was there, but kind of like a little bit of a soccer collision, where, guy, tumbles over. But even still, sideline or official, sees it. He has kind of the same look at it that we do, and he was like, all right, from where I'm at, I could see you got your help defender coming over. He ran right into him.
So Carey catches a break on 3rd and a mile, but it's still going to be – are we going to replay 3rd down? Because the penalty will not give him a first down. So it's going to be 15 yards from – so it's still going to be 3rd and 9 here. We're going to replay 3rd down. Still a passing down for Carey.
And more importantly, they can probably go for it on 4th because they are in Galion territory.
2 to the left, and now it's going to be a false start.
Oh, my goodness.
Carey's going to get moved back. A flag thrown by the far side official. And it's just, when one team commits a penalty, the other one will do the same.
I got to be honest with you. I know this is not, I probably shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it. If concession stands could sell alcohol, they'd make a killing here tonight because these fans have got to be losing their minds, watching what's happening here. Both teams. I mean, It's just like, man, we're just making mistake after mistake after mistake.
As soon as good things start to happen, then take a couple steps back. 3rd and long. Motion man left to right. Bose wants to throw. Rolling left. Has some time. Now some pressure. Steps up. Cross body. Airs it out. Incomplete. Had a lot on that throw, looking for the backside post, looking for Phoenix, incomplete.
Phoenix actually has a little bit of a step there. It's a tough throw to make. I mean, he's kind of going pretty long distance. He's going across his body. But if you look at it, he's got a step, maybe even 2, and he just overthrew him just a little bit. We got our first cramp.
Yep. Injury timeout. It looks like Camden Coleman down there on the field at the 40-yard line, so he'll get stretched out while we take a quick commercial break. You're listening to the Burkhardt Farm Center Game of the Week on WQEL and live online on the OH. Tonight to the Friday Night Phone Board with Davy Jones, 419-562-2222 or toll free 1-888-843-0024. And of course, if you ever miss a Coach's Corner, any games, go ahead and check out the webpage, podcast section on the webpage, WQEL.com.
It's a long way. They got 4th and 14, Carey setting up for punt. But because they're in Galion territory, this is the type of place where you think, could they fake it? No, I don't think so. Not with 14 yards.
Going to try and pin them deep. Yep. Off the side of the foot. Gets it inside the 20. And it goes out of bounds. So Carey having some success moving the football there, but a penalty moves them back.
Yep.
And then they stall.
And we'll see now Galion with the 1-score lead. We just said if they can get a stop, come out and somehow get points on the board here, make it 2 scores, that really can change the complexion of this game because it really puts Carey into a tough spot.
8:14 here in this third quarter. Galion and Braxton Prosser onto the field. Empty backfield, trips left, 2 to the right. The right is the wide side of the field. He wants to throw it. Has plenty of time. Crossing route, incomplete, looking for a skinny post.
Let him too much, a little low. Was trying to put it in a safe place, you know.
Prosser.
You're going a 16-yard pass in the middle of the field. The one thing you don't want is that ball to sail, because that's when you get the opportunities for interceptions and things like that. So he was trying to kind of go low and leading Prosser or leading Chambers to the middle. No, you're right, Prosser to the middle, but just couldn't get it to him.
This time it's trips to the near side. Slot back. Off the line, Prosser wanting to throw near side into the flats, incomplete. A little bit too low and out in front of the hands of Jacob Chambers.
It's interesting.
Back-to-back incompletions, it'll be 3rd and 10 just like that.
Yep, and he's got a little bit of space there, but Prosser on the run, not the perfect mechanical throw. It was just sort of slung it out there and led him a little bit too far, made it potentially catchable pass, but he really had to extend for it, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10 in their own territory.
Prosser joined in the backfield, this time by Evans. Big 3rd down. Prosser looking to throw, rolling right, and has it to a man at the 30. Diving for it was Carver, and I think he got enough.
Carver is holding on to the leg.
He's down.
He's he's got the cramp. Like he just looked at his player. He's like, right there, cramp. So. Big play, though. That was a strong effort because that pass was a little short of the first down marker. He made the cut inside and really knew where that first down marker was, where he needed to get to move the chains along.
Big 3rd down conversion. Prosser to Evans. And you mentioned Evans down on the field. Or, excuse me, Carver. I apologize. Carver down on the field getting stretched out. Stops the clock with 7:56 to go in this third quarter. Big weekend coming up for the Tribe. Couple games, this weekend I think we're playing. Oh goodness, we're playing the Royals coming up over the weekend.
Yes,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think I grabbed the wrong sheet from Will. Set me up for failure. But Carver is up and jogging off the field.
Yeah, it's the those games versus the Royals begin. Labor Day weekend. Starting on Monday, those are big games if you're a Guardians fan.
Still in first place in the Central. Yeah, I just pulled a Davy too and called him the Tribe.
It happens. Still the Tribe kind of in its own way.
Take it.
Right.
Empty backfield. Prosser here on 1st and 10. Prosser is going to take it straight up the middle. Quarterback keep, and he's hit immediately. Somehow able to get a yard on that play. Brought down in the backfield. That was 24, Steen.
Yep.
Clock continuing to roll here in the third quarter. In Galion, they want to get in the end zone. They also love melting this clock off.
Oh, absolutely. If they can get up 2 scores and not give Carey the ball back until the fourth quarter, that would be a dream for Coach Matt Dick.
2 left, 2 to the right. Evans joins him in the backfield. Prosser going to throw it into the flats. A diving catch over there made. What a catch. That was 18. Kurt Hay laying out and hauling that in. Kurt Hay, just a freshman at 5'7", 145.
Yeah, that was outstanding.
That's
play.
how you get on the field on Friday nights.
You're darn right. You know, if you want to try to impress a coach, let him know I'll do whatever I can to help this team. And that was a play, like you said, kind of just like the same one before. Prosser rolling out a little bit, just threw it a little too ahead of the receiver, but Hay leads out, and I think they may have just got carried a jump. They did. First down for Galion, unless they got drawn, but I didn't see any movement there.
Lewis Watkins
there it is.
Jumping across, free 5 yards for the Tigers. And that will move the chains. Carey, certainly not used to a game like this. Offense really struggling here. Just lack of discipline in certain situations. But you did, it is a young team.
Yeah.
2 wide receivers right side. They're going to run it. Prosser up the middle, picks up 2 yards, across the 45, gets to the 46. Knocked down there. That's just another RPO. Prosser going to ride it out with Evans and pulls that one, keeps it himself, 2nd and 8.
You know, and again, this game's far from over, so I'm not trying to, forecast anything ahead. But for the Carey coaches, they're going to look at it and say, guys, even if things don't go well tonight, they're going to be like, yeah, we're 0-2, but we're still in the place where we want to be. We're still trying to defend an N10 title. We want to make it to the playoffs. All those things are still on the table. We're just playing teams that are, teams that are very good.
Prosser airing it out too high for the intended receiver, Alan Carver. And I think he had a favorable matchup over here with Chambers.
I agree.
Safety was 20 yards off, and there's just no communication. Chambers needs to signal to his quarterback, hey, I'm going to run a quick stop here.
Yeah.
Just give me the ball, and I'll make something happen in the open space.
And it's interesting because I think, some coaches give players flexibility to be able to do things like that, and other coaches are like, no, run it the way I want you to run it. So
doubles on 3rd and long. Prosser going to throw it.
Little
pass
block.
complete.
Got it.
Near side, first down
for
Chambers. Little comeback route. Chambers moves the sticks.
Simple and easy. They gave him space, and then, so it's like, all right, we're going to give you a 6-yard catch, but then he was curling that route right around Carver, who was running a route. So Carver then just becomes the blocker downfield, so good heads-up play. Carver gives him the space. He's able to sneak behind him. Easy first down.
2 right, 2 left for Prosser on 1st and 10. Wants to throw. Evans stays into block. Prosser, pressure from the backside, reverses course. Now Prosser below us to our left, skips by a defender. He's going to keep it. 40. Gets out of bounds at the 37-yard line. What an athletic move by Braxton Prosser.
Yep.
Ran a long ways to get 5-6 yards.
And remember when I said when he was a sophomore, I was like, he was much better runner than he was a passer. And it brought a different dimension to the offense at that point in time when they decided to install him as the quarterback. He had a decent arm, but it was kind of misfired a lot or whatever, but the legs were always there. We saw it on that play. They're going to change it up. Prosser is going out wide. Or no, excuse me. That's Carver going out wide to the left. Prosser
takes the snap, fakes the handoff, going to run it, has a seam, and hit hard right at the sticks.
Yep.
Got his bell rung there by 40, Dash Puckett.
Yep. Prosser going to get 3, about 2.5, 3 yards right there. So still good, solid play for Galion, who's looking at a 3rd down and probably a little less than a yard.
And they're eating more and more time off this clock, down to 4:50 in the 3rd quarter. Carver wide to the left. He's got a slot inside of him, 2 receivers below us to the right. Evans, the ball carrier, spins off one. I think he's got it. They piled him up right at the sticks.
What's funny is that earlier, if you remember in the first half, Carey had a play like this, and we didn't think they got it. But they just didn't even measure it. They gave it to him. This one, I thought he was a little bit closer. I don't think he got a really good placement. I thought his body movement a little bit forward, and then they pushed him back. Where they placed that ball, it was a 0 gain. He didn't get anywhere.
So a 4th and 1. Ball at the 34 of Carey. Gallion's going to spread it out again. Prosser checks the sideline. Watch the hard count here. Prosser barking it out. Has it. Prosser tucks it. Cuts upfield. He's got the first down and more. Prosser staying on his feet inside the 25-yard line. Goes down at about the 24. Big time run there by the senior.
Oh, darn right. And you know what? not only smart, finding the vision, finding the hole, but good blocking. I mean, not just the big linemen, but the receivers were downfield. Everybody was giving them a little bit of space at that point in time. So it's the vision and the blocking combined to get him the first down.
Yeah, Cohen Adams with a great kick-out block to spring him free. Fresh set of downs for the Tigers. Prosser going to roll left, throw left into the flats, and it's incomplete. Looking for Chambers, man-to-man coverage over there with Carter Bain. 2nd and 10.
And this has been interesting about this drive for Galion. The first downs aren't always coming easily. That one was probably the best only because Prosser picked up 7 yards on first down. But they still had to go for it on 4th. But it's been 3rd downs that they've been getting first downs here, so it's eating clock, but not always successful on every play.
A little bit of a sweep.
Chambers.
Coming near side with Chambers and picks up maybe a yard or two. Chambers coming from the slot, took the handoff and had a little bit of a lane there, but
slow
Carey doing a
developing.
nice job to get off the blocks and limit it to a 1-yard gain.
Generally speaking, when you want to do kind of a, go that end around with the slot receiver, you're trying to do a quick hitter. That guy gets out in a hurry, things like that. And instead, it was very slow getting around the edges, made it easy for Carey to be able to recognize where it was going.
Prosser's going to keep Evans in the backfield. Again, Chambers goes in motion. They fake it to him. They're going to throw it up
deep.
1-to-1.
He got it.
And he's got a deep ball, man, open. A diving catch made by Alan Carver in the end zone for 6. What a play by Alan Carver. Prosser floats it up, and Carver laying out in the end zone to pull it in.
Totally designed the entire way. If you look at it, and we're going to see the replay on the OH report, they got man coverage, and that's where Prosser's going the entire time. He never stops to look. It's just a matter of him running a good route. Carver fakes the very smallest fake to the inside, and then he breaks to the edge. He's got 2 yards or so, takes it right to the corner, and sure enough, diving grab right there for the touchdown.
Prosser to Evans makes it 13-0. And now Galion Tigers will send Evans out to attempt the extra point. What a catch by Carver.
He had 2 excellent catches on that drive to help things out. That one was amazing.
Clean snap, clean hold. Extra point is up, and it is good. So with 2:54 to go in the 3rd quarter, Galion leads Carey 14-0 on the road. We'll be back with Carey and the football right after this.
Let's go.
Country Meats, 7252 Leesville Road, Crestline.
That started back on their 20-yard line results in a 23-yard touchdown from Prosser to Carver. And now Galion in control, 14-0.
And Carey feeling the pressure. They're going to have to score on this drive, I think, with the way they play football. I mean, unless they can somehow get a big play in the air or break open a big run at some point in time, they can't grind out, three long drives to get in the end zone. So it's going to be important for them to be able to get movement here on this drive and get the ball in the end zone.
Again, Trip Phoenix back deep.
Ooh.
They're going to pooch it, try and pull a fat. Just couldn't quite get there.
Yep.
And the ball is going to go out of bounds.
Just
Carver trying to place it and let his speedsters try and cover it up. They saw a soft spot in that Carey return and
I like the
field
play.
position.
No, I like it. I mean, look, it definitely he put a little bit too much on it and it goes out of bounds. It's, but you see out there what he was kind of looking at, and you're like, all right, I see a spot. And if he didn't put quite so much leg into it, it would have dropped down perfectly.
So the ball now is going to be spotted at the 45.
And the coaching staff from Galion having a question with the officials about it, saying, all right, well.
I didn't know it was a 45. One receiver goes wide to the right. Bose in the backfield, fakes the handoff, going to keep it himself. Bose falls forward, and he gets to the 50-yard line. 5-yard carry on first down for Bose. Like you said, Carey, they're going to need to score kind of quick.
Got another
injury timeout. So the teams will head to the sideline as I think it's 55. Zach's got Sally down there getting stretched out. So we'll take a quick break as well. You're listening to the Burkhardt Farm Center Game of the Week on WQEL and the OH Report.
Let's go.
Jeff Roberts with you tonight on WQEL. Also streaming online on the OH Report. Sally up, and he's making his way to the sideline. So that's our third injury timeout.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Definitely thought coming in we might see some cramps.
Exactly.
And it is still a scorcher. The sun is down, but it is still very hot.
I can't
and
tell.
I think 20 degrees warmer in this press box.
I was going to say, I can't tell if it's. I think it's a little warm out there, and in our press box, brutal, a sauna. 2nd
and 5. Carey's going to run it with Steen. Steen off one. He's got the first down, spins, and gets close to the 40. That'll move the chains.
Best run of the day for Eli Steen.
So Carey starting to move it a little here on the first couple plays of this drive.
Hey, you know what? And really smart. You see Zach Sally, defensive lineman, go off the field on the cramp, run it right where he was playing. You got a backup coming in at that point in time. You're going to have, potentially a mismatch, and that's the direction they went on that play.
Phoenix and Tanner split wide right. Double tight formation, Bose in a gun with Steen. Bose wants to throw. Has pressure, steps up now. Bose is going to keep it. Bose gets inside the 35, goes out of bounds at the 34-yard line, and Bose had pressure almost immediately in his face. Carey getting away probably with a hold on that one. Mm-hmm. But Bose still able to stretch it. Close to a first down, 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, Chambers actually recognized that he was going to run right away. He just couldn't get a good angle at it. Bose kept kind of redirecting, and like you said, got some timely blocking, we'll call it. And sure enough, gets around close to the edge. Real close to that first down marker.
2nd and 2, Carey with it in Galion territory. Bose going to throw it. Bose steps up, unloads, a little bit high, incomplete.
Yep.
Sorry, they got a crosser. I thought he was throwing the flag.
No,
he was. Throwing.
No, he was. That was just he just couldn't get the ball gunned out as much as it was a wobbler that died.
Yeah.
I mean, he was trying to throw the deep flag, and Phoenix had the space, and he'd gotten away from the defender. If he's got the ability to put the juice underneath it, he probably has got it right there in his hands. But
so now 3rd and 1, 4-down territory for the Blue Devils. Power I formation for Bose. Bubba Tanner, deep back, turns, gives it to him. Tanner up the right side, and he's got the first down. Bubba Tanner keeps this Blue Devil drive alive. He'll stop the clock with 1:46 in the 3rd quarter.
One thing I will say that does also help Carey in this situation is being the type of team that they are and the way that they play. You could see, like, they're looking at the clock going, okay, 1:30, but there is no panic on this coaching staff. They're like, yeah, okay, well, we still got time. We just got to go down, score, make a defensive stop. We'll score again,
3 backs behind Bose. Bose trying to get it to Steen. Steen keeps his feet, and they were kind of tangled up right behind the center. It's still Steen able to push ahead for 3 yards.
Well, it was kind of a read option, and sure enough, as he was giving the handoff, the defender wrapped him up, and it was like, all right, do I give you the ball? Do I keep the ball? There's a defender on top of us right now, but then I think he finally said, all right, I got to make sure that you have a good handle on it before I let go of it because I don't want to take the chance of a fumble. And Steen was able to kind of push himself forward and get some yardage.
2nd and 7, trips to the left now. Steen, the back in the backfield, he is going to get the carry. Steen pushing for the 25, gets to the 26-yard line. Short pickup on that play. Again, this is 4-down territory for the Blue Devils. They're looking at 3rd and 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nearing the end of the third quarter here, about a 1 second difference between the game clock and the play clock.
Yeah, but they're playing like I'm not going to worry about the clock. I just got to get in the end zone on this drive. Like, we're not going to make a mistake. That's the way they're trying to kind of play this thing out.
Power eye, Bose trying the hard count.
Oh, there was movement.
False start and no call.
They got Steen around the ankle.
Steen wrapped up another short gain, but Carey getting away with one there. Definitely a false start.
No doubt about it.
And that will be the end of the third quarter here in Carey. Currently, Galion shutting out the Blue Devils 14-0, but Carey is driving. Fourth quarter coming up on WQEL and the OH Report. On WQEL, streaming online on the OH Report. Big 4th down here for the Blue Devils. 4th and 2. Bose going to turn, give to Steen. Steen, no, was that Puckett the ball carrier?
I think it was Mace Phoenix.
And he's able to pick up the first down.
Yeah.
A big 4th down conversion there for Carey to keep it alive. If they don't get that, it is.
Yep. I think that's it. They're probably going to put a wrap on this thing if Galion can
even puts up somewhat of a drive.
Yes, exactly. But they got what they needed.
Power eye. Bose under center, 1st and 10. Bose looking, turns, gives to Steen. Steen through an arm tackle. Steen inside the 15 to the 13. Oh, I apologize. That's Phoenix again. Phoenix.
Yep. Mace Phoenix.
Yeah, big dude.
Yeah, Mace only a excuse me, I got a Mace Phoenix. It's Mace Puckett, excuse me.
Okay, so yeah,
I got Trip
Puckett.
Phoenix, Dash Puckett. I
There's
screwed
3
it up.
Puckets.
My apologies on that. It's Mace Puckett on the last 2 carries. That's my mistake. Wrote it down wrong. But Puckett, you got him 185-pound sophomore, runs well.
Here's Steen.
That's Steen.
Steen through the left side A gap, falls forward, gets close to the 10-yard line. Ball at the 11 now.
Galion just running bodies at Eli Steen. They're expecting him to get the ball every single time, which I think is the reason why Puckett's getting a little bit of space to run. But still, they're putting themselves in pretty good situation at 3rd and 2.
They're in the red zone at the 11. Again, Carey sends out the power eye. 2 Puckets in front of Steen. This time it is going to be Mace. Mace plowing for the end zone over 2 Galion defenders, and he is inside the 5 to the 1 yard line. Straight ISO for Mace Puckett.
Yep.
And he has set up Carey very well here. First and goal inside the 5.
You bring in another back that's pretty big and strong, running hard, and he's running downhill. Like, he's getting the ball and running straight ahead. And you got a team that's looking at the big body, 240-pound back. It's opening things up, and Carey is really moving the football with Mace Puckett.
Again, 3 backs in the backfield. They go to the up back, pushing in, and he's in easily.
I think that was Dash Puckett, but I don't want to say for sure. There's so many bodies in there.
It was either 48 or 40.
No, there was 40. He's holding his groin.
It was 40.
Yep.
Dash Puckett.
Yep.
The 1 yard touchdown run gets Galion on the board here in the 4th quarter.
Took a long time for Carey to kind of get some things going, but finally did there on that drive. Real impressive run right there by Dash Puckett. Kind of picking up where Mace Puckett had been leaving off. That was a really nice drive all the way around for Carey. They needed it.
On to attempt the extra point. Nathan Geary. And flag comes in. Looks like offsides against Galion. So now Carey's going to go for 2. And this could be interesting.
Yep.
Because if you don't get it, then you definitely have to the second time.
Yes, but I think that's part of the thought process is if we can get it, it puts them into a great position.
Maybe a chance to win.
Exactly. You get a stop and then you get another touchdown. You're an extra point for a victory. So, and if you're the coaching staff,
take a timeout here.
Yeah, if you're the coaching staff of Carey, though, you've got to put trust in your guys. When you're a power running team, you're going to be like, we can get 1 yard.
Yeah.
What's 1 yard?
So a quick timeout here on WQEL, 92.7 FM, and the OH Report as the Galion Tigers draw up what they want to do against this power run game of Carey. We'll be right back.
Let's go.
On the field for this 2-point conversion attempt. Trip Phoenix going to split wide left. Well, now he's making his way back closer to the huddle.
Yeah,
Bubba Tanner in.
Came sprinting in last minute. So
Phoenix goes wide to the left. 3 backs in the backfield behind Bose. Bose under center here. Galion showing blitz. They bring the house.
It's Steen.
And Steen pushing, still no signal.
Mace Puckett came in and pushed him from behind a little bit.
They're going to sort the pile, and they're going to give it to him. 2-point conversion attempt is good. And just like that, this Carey sideline is alive. Pretty quiet there for 3 quarters, but now something to cheer about as they're back in this ball game, down 6, 14-8. Galion with the football when we come back.
This is Matt Ramsey from USAR.
And you got to say, this is one of the best high school football fields around. I would say just the atmosphere.
Yep.
The fans are right on the field. There's no track around it. And you always have a great fan presence at Carey, so it's one of the better high school football environments around.
Yeah, well, it's awful if you're the opposing team.
Yep.
But it's great for a home field advantage. And, you know, like I said earlier, the whole town of Carey is going to come out and, you know, support the team. They're going to go for the pooch kick as well. That's really short. That's not 10 yards. And Galion will just jump on it right there.
That was not a smart play. Galion should have just let that go. And
Well, the reality is he can just sit on it right there, and they're going to get the ball at the 45-yard line of Carey.
Yep.
So, even though it was sort of like, all right, that was dangerous, all the Carey players just kind of ran away from it, and he was like, well, if I go pick it up, we're going to have great field position to start this drive, so
you hear
why
a couple groans from the Carey faithful. I don't think they necessarily liked that call.
I don't think that's clearly not what the coaching staff had in mind when he was trying to do the onside kick. He did not get a good foot on it, and it just fluttered off.
So now excellent field position for Galion. They lead by 6, but no lead is safe against the Blue Devils, even on an off night. Prosser going to fake it, keep it himself, plowing, and going to the 40-yard line for a 5-yard pickup. Another RPO, decided to keep it, had a running lane, and picks up 5.
I am sort of interested to see how Braxton Prosser ends up taking this last drive here because, a 3-year starter, he's a senior now. This is kind of his team. This is going to be the time where, he's going to be looking at it going, all right, I want to take over this game. I want to win. I'm going to make plays, and we're going to win this football game, and it's going to be because of my legs, my arm, whatever it might be. So see if he can manufacture that.
Doubles formation on 2nd and 5. Prosser letting the play clock get all the way down to 2. Snaps it, handoff. That's Evans. Evans moving left, falls down after a 3-yard gain. Evans, a little misdirection there. Good pull by Sally.
And again, any score here for Galion is going to make things really challenging for Carey. I mean, I don't want to say it puts it out of reach because it's only 2 scores, but with the time that would be left, even if they can kick a field goal here, it's going to make it tough.
Again, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Prosser going to keep it. Prosser just gets enough for the first down.
He got it.
On the other side of the 35-yard line. And Galion, they're going to play it safe. Like you said, it's going to be in the hands of Prosser.
Yeah, and you can get 5 yards on a first down. That 5 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards. I mean, this is a coach's dream when you've got a lead in the fourth quarter. They're in Carey territory, so he also knows even if he only gets me 2 yards or something like that, I can potentially go for it on 4th down. So it's four play area here for Galion.
They'll let the play clock get down again. Ball is loose. Evans somehow jumps on it.
Evans kind of ran right in front of that ball as it was snapped. There was a collision. He took off running, and him and Prosser sort of collided as the ball was still getting snapped. Like he stepped right in front of the snap.
Yeah, what was Evans doing there? Ball hit him in the shoulder.
It was almost like,
settle down, young man.
Yes, exactly. It's like you can't say it was on the wrong snap count because he didn't leave until the ball left, but he took off running. He didn't pause and wait for it. Big mistake.
Clock continuing to roll, and another fumble.
One. Oh,
Evans again falls on it.
That was in the handoff between Prosser and Evans.
This time Evans was set up on the right side.
And the snap's there that time. He turns to go hand it off. Snap's a little off to the side, but still just didn't get that handoff.
And now Galion has gone back 7 yards. They're looking at 3rd and 17.
Yep.
Ball spotted at the Carey 42-yard line.
Just talking about just getting points on the board, but now it's like, all right, maybe we will have to punt if we can't get something here.
Empty backfield for Prosser.
Got to get half of it at least.
Carey going to drop back 8. Prosser with all day. Throws it, and it's intercepted.
Yep.
I don't think he ever saw the defender coming up and making a big play. Number 30, Carter Bain. And Galion, starting in Carey territory, goes back 7 yards, and then Prosser throws a pick. 2 straight fumbles. They were able to jump on those, but then Prosser, the interception on 3rd and long.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know if he even saw him. And Prosser eyed down his receiver just a little too much. It made it too easy on the defense. The slot receiver's coming all the way across on the play, and he's watching him. Receiver on the other side corner, it was Sam Evans.
He's wide open.
And he's probably about 10 yards downfield. He's going to turn. If he catches a pass there, he turns upfield. Even if he doesn't get a first down, he's going to be 2 yards short. They can go for it. Just big mistake there by the senior quarterback.
Carey going to throw it.
Oh, pressure.
Bose seeing pressure right away, got by one defender, but is sacked on that play, brought down by 53. That's Cameron Coleman.
They brought the blitz through, and the blitz got into the backfield, got into his face. They went over the top of him, but the second wave of pressure gets him down, and it's a big sack there.
So it'll be 2nd and long now for the Blue Devils, and still they don't want to throw the ball, but the clock already down to 6:25. They got some yards in front of them. Power I formation. Bo's going to hand it off. Trying to cut. That's Bubba Tanner, and Tanner keeping his feet, able to pick up about 5 yards.
That's I was going to say. I don't think they, with the time on the clock, I don't think they have to abandon their game plan, but I think the sack on first down does make it a little bit more challenging. I mean, they can run the football, but 5 yards isn't going to get it for them now. They're looking at a 3rd down and 8 here. They're going to need a big play, make it so they can go for it on 4th down, assuming that they want to go that route.
Ball at the 38. Galion showing blitz. They're going to hand it to Steen. Steen pushing, and he's able to get close to the 45, to the 44. Now still in Galion territory. 5 minutes and 36 seconds on the clock.
And will they call a timeout here?
Yeah, they have 3 timeouts. You're looking at 4th and 3. It looks like Carey's going to go.
Yep, they're or are they just going to come up, try to draw them off sides? I think they're going to try to go for it. I really do. But will it happen right away, or are they going to run up, do a couple hard counts if they get them to jump, and then maybe call timeout?
Could be the ball game. Bose will snap it. They go straight ahead. Steen pushing, and he didn't get there.
Not even close.
The Galion defense holds. ISO up the middle to Steen, and the Tigers plug it up.
1 yard. That's all he got on it. And they tried to kind of give it to him and just do the push from behind. We're just going to get a bunch of bodies and just kind of power ahead. But they were just on him. And you can see
it was 40.
Got him right around the ankle.
Puckett, the carrier.
Yeah, I mean, yep, you're right. And they got him right around the ankle there. Got him in the backfield, drug him down, and sure enough, Galion, after kind of imploding on their last drive,
they'll again start at the Carey 45.
They'll get another opportunity to see if they can put this game out of reach here with 5 minutes and 6 seconds left on the clock.
So the turnover on downs gives it back to Galion with 5:06. Galion with 2 timeouts, Carey with 3. Doubles formation on 1st and 10. They're going to go to Evans. Evans bouncing it off the right side. Evans slips and falls. Maybe a yard. Actually, no, they're going to mark him no gain on that play.
Yep.
Trying to bounce it, and he had a little bit of running room if he could have got outside, but just slips and goes down.
Yeah, it definitely would have been a foot race to the corner, but you're right. If he was able to kind of get there, I think he would have had the chance, but lost his footing, and then now he's over on the sideline working on a cramp. He kind of walked over on his own, but training staff's going to work on Evans, kind of stretch out that leg.
Carey hanging on to their timeouts. Galion will run this play clock all the way down. 2 left, 1 to the right. Slot left of the line. And again, a fumble by Coleman, and
same problem.
Prosser. Just
their communication between running back, quarterback, center, all of that in the backfield is just, it's a mess.
The running backs seem to be rushing Prosser, and now we're going to get a timeout. So it stops it with 4:16 to go. Galion will be looking at a 3rd and 10 when we come back.
In this down and distance, with a 3rd down where they're at in the game, this is the type of play where I like the idea of kind of rolling Prosser out.
Yeah.
See if you can get him in the open field, see if you can get a pass. If he doesn't have one, have him run it so you can keep the clock running. But we'll see what Coach Dick is looking at.
3rd and long. Prosser He's going to keep it. No, an end around. They got Chambers going back the other way.
Guys.
But Chambers is going to get corralled in the backfield and get dropped for a 3-yard loss.
Backside
Just
defense.
never developed.
The backside defense never moved.
Yep.
I mean,
great contain.
There was good pressure right up the middle. Defensive lineman, 24 for Carey. I'll tell you, Eli Steen, he comes through and he breaks up the play because Prosser, he's got guys coming in. The rest of the Carey defense doesn't have to worry about it. Steen's so far into the backfield, he's going to break up that play. So they do the handoff. Chambers coming the other way, but the defenders were all just still standing there, so it ends up getting a loss.
And now it is 4th down, so they trot Carver out on the field to punt it away.
See if they'll...
It's Trip Phoenix back deep. He will dig in at the 20.
Stare at the clock for the next 14 seconds. Don't punt until you have to.
He'll have to punt it with about
left.
3. Yeah, he's going to punt. I don't know why he would have done that.
6 more seconds, but whatever.
Decent punt. It's going to take a carry. No, it goes out of bounds in the air.
It does, about the 10-yard line. So 90 yards and 3:16 on the clock.
Backtrack it. Official is going to stop at the 17-yard line. So Carey, they have 3 timeouts.
So make it 83 yards and 3:16 on the clock.
Carey, in their last possession, they turned it over on downs.
There's a lot of times I talk to coaches after the game, and they're like, oh, we should have won that game. We should have won that game. And I rarely agree with them. This time, I think both coaches are going to be like, we should have won that game. And I'm like, no, I can see your point.
Yep. Bose wants to throw. Going to step up and air it out. Near side.
Dead ball.
Deep ball. Trip Phoenix trying to turn around. Can't get it. Carey pleading for a flag. But, oh, my goodness.
Is that what it takes? You just look at
He just pulled the flag out. The teams were halfway back to the huddle.
What is happening?
And we can watch this replay. The official, it's not like he couldn't dig the flag out.
No.
He just looked, Carey was pleading for it, and they give it to him.
And don't get me wrong, I don't necessarily think it's a horrific call. I mean, you could see the defender, Trey Longwell, on that play. He does put a hand on him a little bit. I don't know that he necessarily drug him down. It's more the fact that
it was an underthrown ball.
It was a very badly underthrown ball, and it was also more of the fact that official, that was a 10 Mississippi before he pulled that flag out.
I mean, we were almost done talking about it.
Absolutely.
I formation, 15-yard penalty, and they're going to toss it out. That is Bubba Tanner trying to reverse course. Bubba Tanner looking for a block, but instead he's hit and dropped.
That's a good play over there.
That is an excellent play made by 17, Aiden Schmidt.
Yeah, because
Schmidt staying home, and if he doesn't make that tackle,
it's going to get some yards.
Tanner, maybe not a first down,
but because you can see everybody else from Galion was pursuing in the other direction, so they were coming, but they were downfield. If he breaks that tackle, he's going to get 5 to 8 yards minimum. But Schmidt brings him down for no gain.
2nd and 10. Turns, gives to the up back. Straight up the middle and a gain of 2. Clock continuing to roll here. 2:25 to go. Galion with 2 timeouts. Carey with 3. And Carey, they're looking at 3rd and long 7.
Yep, that was Puckett.
Into the ball game comes Nathan Gear. Yeah, there's 3.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I'll say this. I mean, it's just this is. I'm really impressed by how Galion is held up right in the middle. See if they can do it for the last 2 minutes.
Steen deep in the backfield. They're going to he's going to fake it. Bose keeps it himself, fake the option, and he's able to pick up 8 yards.
Yeah, I don't know if he got the first down. But that was a really heady play by
he did
Bose.
Get the first
down.
They
gave it to him. Okay.
Didn't even measure again.
Yeah,
I thought he was a yard short.
I thought it was close. I was like, I thought he was about a half yard short. But they gave it to him, and that's super helpful because that stops the clock while they move the chains. And but Carey did still huddle up, so they are not concerned about the clock.
Minute 45 to go. They'll trot 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Bose puts Phoenix in motion. He never came set. Now they're going to pitch it out to Phoenix, and there's a flag that comes in. Phoenix struck down for a 1-yard loss.
Outstanding job over there. I think it was Trevor Shifley, but we'll see what.
Official coming in. We'll see a couple Galion coaches
on Carey. So they're going to give him an option. Do you want to give him the loss of yardage and the loss of down, or do you want to give them, the penalty and give them an extra down here? So, because it's I'm going to guess it's about a 2-yard loss, maybe a 1-yard loss on the play. So do you want to make it 2nd and 11, or you rather go first and
Yeah, depending what the flag
where the flag looks like where they threw it is behind the line of scrimmage. So if they're going to mark it off from there.
Was it a hold? Was somebody give us what it was?
And there it is.
Illegal shift.
Illegal
okay,
shift.
so they did get Trip Phoenix for the illegal shift.
So there's the 5 yards. So they're going to – so Matt Dick's like, give him the extra play, but I want the yardage. The extra 4 yards to move him back a little bit.
Minute 33. And 1st and 15 for Carey. 2 receivers go both ways. A deep ball. It's a duck. Fluttering, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trey Longwell. Longwell is going to slide down at the 44-yard line, and the Galion Tigers can kneel this out. Carey does have 3 timeouts, I guess. So they could get the ball back with maybe a minute.
Yeah,
depending on what Galion does here.
Galion will have to run some plays, but that's what Coach Dick's going to tell them. It's going to be like, look, we're going to run the football. We don't want to do anything here that's going to cause any type of turnover, any type of silly mistake, anything like that. So, don't step in front of a snap again.
Yeah. That ball coming out of Bose's hands,
dead.
It was dead from the start.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He reared back and just tried to chuck it up for Trip Phoenix and nowhere close.
That was the one thing that I was a little surprised by with the way they were huddling still, is because I was like, I haven't seen a lot out of Bose's throwing in this game that made me think that if they have to throw the football, that they can.
Right.
It's just like even when guys get open downfield, I just don't think he's got the cannon for it. And that one just fluttered up in the air.
Prosser will give off to Evans. Evans looking for an opening. Evans keeping his feet still going, and a pickup of 8 or 9 yards on first down.
Perfect run, because quite honestly, what you want to do is you can get 8-9 yards, because they're gonna call the timeout here, obviously, which they did, but you realize, if you get a first down right there, they're going to stop the clock while they move the chains, but they're going to call a timeout right away anyway. But you're still looking at first down and, a minute 14 left. Now you're looking at second down. If you can get a first down, they're going to have to burn another timeout. From a perspective of play clock and things like that, you're actually better off getting 8-9 yards than you are even grabbing a first down right now.
So the Galion Tigers looking at that 2nd and 2. With a minute 14 left here in the ballgame. Davy Jones back at station control, getting ready for another edition of the Friday Phone Board. Give him a call immediately following our broadcast. He's been looking for scores, any shout-outs. Go up, talk to Davy. 2nd and 2, Galion out of the timeout.
We should go a different route with that. We'll just be like, lonely. Call Davy.
Yeah, there you go. Davy Helpline.
Exactly.
Prosser out onto the field. He's got an offset eye. He's going to turn, give to the back, and Evans is hit immediately.
Ooh.
Getting in the backfield right away was 25. That is Lewis Watkins.
Yep.
Watkins came off that edge, and he wrapped him up immediately.
That's not what you want if you're Galion, because I just said it's good because you only need 1 or 2 yards for the first down, but they just lost 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's the type of play that I was thinking. I'm like, just come up and kind of push yourself forward. They went from the shotgun position. Carey just sort of brought everybody in a full house, trying to get the hit in the backfield, and they got it. So 5-yard loss there kind of negates what we were just talking about.
Coming up tomorrow, it is the season opener for the Ohio State Buckeyes. They open with the Akron Zips. Defense, almost zero concern. I mean, the Buckeyes are loaded this year.
They are loaded.
Ask around college football, and, there's more pro-ready talent on that roster than, anybody else in college football.
I think the story was it only cost them $20 million.
Yeah. Of course, we have the game coming up tomorrow on WQEL. We'll pick up the network at 2, kickoff at 3:30 right here on Iconic Rock, 92.7 FM. 3rd and 7. Prosser is going to shift the back to his right hip. 2 receivers left in a slot, but Galion's actually going to take a timeout themselves. So they didn't like what they saw out of the Carey defense, so Coach Dick will figure out what he wants to draw up for 3rd down.
Kind of in an interesting spot here, for Coach Dick, because, in one sense, you're looking at the clock going, okay, there's 109. We're going to run a play here. All right, let's say we run it, they stop it. It only, there's a minute, minute 3 left on the clock. We punted off. We're giving the ball to them with a minute left and no timeouts. So I don't know. I think you got to trust your defense a little bit. I don't think I do anything crazy here. I just want to make sure, get off a good, clean punt. Don't make any mistakes. Again, nothing silly.
Here's Prosser and the Galion Tigers. Prosser has the snap. He's going to keep it himself. Looking for a running lane. Prosser runs through an arm tackle, and he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. So if you are Galion, and of course Carey, they can't stop it.
I thought they had one more. Nope.
Unless the board is wrong. But no, they cannot stop it.
Okay.
I thought they had one more.
I thought they did.
Maybe that was their timeout.
My fault.
So Galion's going to run some more off this play clock and game clock. Game clock at 38, play clock at 14.
So at this point in time, just if you're Coach Dick, do you just want to let it run out? They're going to call a timeout. They're going to take the timeout with 1 second left on the play clock, and that will end up being 24 seconds left on the clock. There it is. 23.
And Galion will take their final timeout. So Galion will either punt it away with 23 seconds or go for it. Carey isn't a big play team, but you still don't want to give them the ball right about the 50-yard line with a chance. Try and punt it deep and pin them.
I think that's the question if you're Coach Dick is like, do I trust my punt team
to protect?
Because you don't want to get a block. You don't want to have a blocked punt, and Carey will come at it. They're going to bring everybody. So you're almost like, can I do a quick kick or something like that? So it's harder to, But it's kind of an interesting play call.
Is that something you practice?
Yeah, is it something you
practice? If you haven't practiced a quick kick, I wouldn't move that punter up 8 yards and have his timing all messed up.
But the question I'm saying is, like, do you line everybody up like it's your regular offense? Can Prosser do that? Is that something you've ever practiced before where Carey has to sort of kind of watch that what if they do snap the ball, but at the same time, maybe he just lets it go. But I don't know if they've ever practiced that, and maybe he's just like, I'm going to have faith in my offense or my defense, whichever one he feels better about here with 4th and 1.
They are lined up to go. Prosser has the snap. He's going to fake the handoff. Prosser picks up the first down at the 45 of Carey, and that will do it.
That's the game.
Carey can't stop it. They won't even have to run another play. The game clock will reset at the mark of the chains, and the Galion Tigers will move to 2-0 here in 2024, and Carey dropping to 0-2. Final seconds ticking off the clock here in Carey, and it is silent on the Carey sideline. Clock hits triple zeros, and the final score, the Galion Tigers 14, the Carey Blue Devils 8. We'll be back inside the Mizik Miller Ken Standing-Seam postgame show when we come back.
Tonight's postgame show on WQEL.
Alrighty.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with a kick return touchdown.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Comes to Carey and takes care of business. They win it 14-8. And Jeff, really, we were wondering, what was it going to be? The speed of Galion that Carey can't handle? Was it going to be the physicality of Carey that, or excuse me, the speed, the physical?
Yeah.
You know, who couldn't keep up with who?
Absolutely.
And really, Galion's defense was put to a task tonight.
Yep.
Carey comes in averaging 250 yards on the ground. That's Carey football. Eli Steen, 3-year starter, big fella in the backfield, and Galion stepped up.
They sure did. They didn't have any problems, really. Ultimately, they sort of stopped Eli Steen. I mean, and again, it's not to say at the end that Carey didn't get the yards on the ground, because they always will grab their yardage, but they didn't accompany it with anything in the air, and Galion prevented them from ever getting a big play on the running. So it was like they ended up with 133 yards rushing, but they did it in 42 carries. So you're still making them go at 3.5 yards per carry, whatever that's going to turn into. And if Carey's only getting 3.5 yards per carry and they're not getting any big plays, and then you add in their turnovers, I said that Carey had to play mistake-free football. They didn't tonight. They made a lot of mistakes, and I thought Galion needed to get up in the game. They did. Ultimately, it kind of played out the way we thought the keys would play out, and in the end, Galion's got the victory.
Prosser, we knew that this offense was going to flow through him, and when it came crunch time, they kept the ball in his hands. He did a nice job getting timely first downs, delivering the football on the outside, and really, Prosser was a big part of Galion getting this win.
No question about it. He had a great game, but he got timely plays from some of his teammates. In the end, nobody on either team has got numbers that are going to blow your mind away, right. But ultimately, when it came down to it, Galion just got the plays that they needed at the proper time, and including Alan Carver, who's going to be our McDonald's MVP of the game, get himself the gift certificate from McDonald's. Why? His numbers aren't going to blow you away, but his touchdown catch that gave them the 2-score lead was phenomenal in the end zone.
Diving in the back corner of the end zone.
Slightly overthrown by Prosser, but he still made the dive for it, pulled it in, and as a result, Alan Carver is going to get that player of the game. But in the end, you're going to look at it and be like, his numbers didn't blow you away, and the same thing that we picked for the guy for Carey, we're going to end up going in that one with Mace Puckett. But Mace's numbers aren't anything special, but he was super critical on the drive in which they scored. And that's sort of what it came down to, who had the players that were able to kind of make it happen.
Final stats from tonight's game brought to you by Ken and Matt Studer at Ken's Standing Seam.
Let's look at the Galion Tigers first. Sam Evans leads the team 55 yards. He has 55 yards on the ground and 1 touchdown. That's the thing that led the team. Braxton Prosser, 15 yards. 15 carries for 63 yards. As a team, they go 33 carries, 76 yards, 1 touchdown. Prosser throwing the football goes 10 of 22, 131 in the air, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. The touchdown, like I said, the Alan Carver touchdown, he goes 3 catches, 40 yards as our game MVP, but it's the diving catch that made the difference. Jacob Chambers, 5 catches, 69 yards, 217 in total yardage for Galion. For Carey, Steen leads the team with 61 yards on the ground. It was Dash Puckett with the touchdown run. He had 5 carries for 13 yards. Mace Puckett, 3 carries, 20 yards. Not a ton, but he had a lot of big carries on the one score that they had.
Yep.
It was his runs that were getting him the first downs and got him right down to the end zone. And then Kyler Bose throwing the football. A little thing to work on there. They're still just 4 of 11, 30 yards, 2 picks, no touchdowns. Only 163 yards of total offense in the game for Carey.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Barbecue MVP Alan Carver, who last year, you guys put out home against this Carey team last year, and you beat them last year. You come out to their place this year in the heat. It's over 90 degrees. I mean, walk me through it. The whole week it's hot. Walk me through, coming into this game, having to battle the heat, going up against a team that you played last year, but now at their place.
We practiced all week in shells. We weren't expecting to have this heat come, and but I mean, came in here balled, so what can I say about it?
Now, for yourself, 3 catches, 40 yards, 1 touchdown, which I think that touchdown almost sealed the game. Yeah. I mean, tell me, how do you feel, yourself, almost making that game-sealing touchdown?
I was just, I don't know, I wasn't really thinking. So I was just like, see ball, go get ball, like come down with it. So.
Now, next week you guys play Upper Sandusky, going in there 2-0, a lot of momentum. I mean, it's not going to be as hot next week. Tell me, going in the next game, how excited are you and your team?
Oh, we're stoked. We're stoked. We're ready to take them on. I hope it's not as hot as it was this Friday, but, I mean, can't go wrong with a Friday night game,
All right, now, before you send you off to that after party, if you can see the camera way up there, give as many shout-outs as you would like.
I'd like to shout out Trevor Shifley, balling on defense, Braxton Prosser with the absolute dot in the end zone, and then my mom. That's about it.
All right, man, congratulations on the Week 2 win. Go have that party, and good luck next week.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
back now here in Carey. Definitely a heated game, literally. Very hot game in the 90s. But, we just want to round this out. We want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank Danners, North Central State College. We want to thank First Federal Bank, Old 30 Barbecue, and Jessica Gossman for tonight. Make sure everyone at home, you guys tune in for the Friday Night Pigskin coming on about maybe an hour and a half. Make sure you all tune in for that. Everyone, please have a great night, and we will see you live and free on OH Report.